Hello.
everyone. How's it going? It's going good for you.
Hello.
It's going great for
Hello.
me. It's wonderful. Is it wonderful? I don't know.
Isn't it? Isn't everything?
Isn't everything?
Don't you feel like you've lived a year in the past 6 days? I mean, I certainly don't feel that way at all.
There was a. What the hell was that? It's a consistent joke that I want to post almost every week. It's the thing that I'm actually going to bring up later because oh boy does it fit. It's a scene from Evangelion where Shinji is just sitting at the table in Masato's house, and then Masato comes out and she's like, like hungover, like because it's Masato, and she comes out.
Of course.
She comes out and she's like, "Oh man, it's been a year." He's like, "It's the first Tuesday of the year, Masato."
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, that or the 30 Rock one. Like, it's January 3rd, Lemon.
January 3rd, Lemon.
You know, and
Oh my god.
especially if my mistake. See, Brock, this
That's
is
not
why
what I wanted.
you're the Jesus in my life, because as soon as you taught me like so much about the social media and me like kind of like not full quitting, but like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. Like, legit, dude, you saved my life, especially now. Oh my god.
Thanks. I'd like to think of myself of the sin eater of the podcast, where I'm the poor bastard that has to go online and gather this shit and see. Because I tell you, I'm not currently going to counseling, but there's gonna be points where I'm gonna have a fucking crash out that is going to be at a decathlon level.
Yeah,
And
like
Conformity Gate almost fucking did it.
for me, it was my mistake thing. Like, legit, as soon as I saw it, I took my phone, I walked in another room, put the phone down, and then left.
Oh god. Copium has never been higher than I've seen in my entire life. I would love to be in the stream where the Duffer Brothers going. Do you make another episode? No. Do you make another episode? No.
Like, how did that even start? Like,
oh, we'll get into it.
We'll get there.
We'll get into it. Don't worry. It has a lot to do with your style of hair. And that's the tip of the iceberg. More about the subreddit.
Well, sure.
All right. Anyway, so hey, let's talk about our week, shall we? Mike.
Yeah, so I've had a week. I was just laid off from my job, so the timing of that couldn't be worse because I'm still closing on a house, and well, the good news is I'm still technically on active pay for like the next 60 days.
So technically, hopefully, you'll get past the closing period and have something else lined up.
Yeah, that's the hope.
Yeah, because I'm sure you can find something that can help assistance-wise with anything for that. As long as you can get the thing closed.
Yeah, fortunately, I don't think that's going to be an issue.
Okay,
that's good.
Any good news?
The good news is, well, we'll get to that with the Critics' Choice and the Annie nominations because there's some good stuff in there.
There is. Free.
Saw the fam over the weekend over the delayed Christmas visit. I was supposed to go like the week of Christmas, but then it decided to snowstorm, and like, well, can't do shit about that. So did that. Bought a bunch of books for my film script that I'm working on. Been chilling with friends, watched Stranger Things. Oh, and then I almost forgot, and I did save this, and I should probably send it to you, Brock, in case you want to post it to the YouTube channel. We did a game night last week, and that was like really, really good.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
And you just discover how depraved I am. Like, you learn more and more horrifying truths. Like, you think you find the bottom, but you gotta dig deeper and deeper beyond the Earth's crust.
Alrighty. Iona.
So Not a whole lot has been going on other than I've just been like, just playing a
Ignoring
lot of
D&D at
D&D.
all costs.
Yeah, just been playing a lot of D&D. So essentially watching Stranger Things, also D&D related. So, there's been a lot of D&D in my life lately. But yeah, so essentially some of you know, I hope you don't mind the shout out, Brock,
Yeah,
but
go ahead.
my best friend Red and I well, it's Red Stream actually. I just help her out with co-hosting and, being a voice on the stream. A disembodied voice usually. But for the past couple of Mondays, we have been streaming our D&D sessions with our DM, our dungeon master, who is someone who often will pop up into this chat as we're podcasting. Aaron Sparrow. So he's our DM, and it's myself, Aaron, of course, Red, and Pringle, who you've also known throughout this chat as well, and who else? One of our friends, her name is Beebity. She also is a Twitch streamer, and a member of Red's community. So we will stream our sessions on Mondays and hopefully Thursdays and Fridays as well. And so yeah, if you guys are interested in watching D&D campaigns as they go along, that's what we're doing. And other than that, might start up our own podcast. And maybe like a behind the scenes kind of a D&D podcast kind of a thing. So we might do that. Still looking into it. And of course it's up to, with Red's energy level and my energy level, and sometimes we're not always at the high end of that spectrum. Unlike most other spectrums. But yeah, apart from that, what else has been going on? Not much. I've just been playing a lot of zombie mode in Black Ops 7, which I know is like, nobody plays Black Ops 7, but I mean, the zombie
what
mode's
a
cool.
ball and
It's
gun
fine.
gamer, Kiona.
I know. Terrible. Just terrible.
I will
Horrible.
admit, that is one of my favorite new terms that I actually don't kind of hate because it is stupid.
I know,
accurate
it's
when
actually
you
really
talk
funny.
about certain people.
It is really funny. Yeah, other than that, my team sucked on Saturday, which, for the past six
no.
Yeah,
for the past
I saw
6
that.
weeks
I'm
they
so
did not suck.
sorry.
But they sucked on Saturday when it really counted.
Yeah,
Hey,
unfortunately.
at least they're still in the playoffs.
Unfortunately, McDonald's did not open.
No, unfortunately not. Yeah, and they play the Eagles, so I'm super confident that we are.
Yeah, I'm super
our
confident about
season
that game
will
too.
Not end. Our season will not end. Oh my god.
And I just sit here looking forward to the Super Bowl because I am not going through the maze that is now trying to watch NFL now.
Oh my god, really though? Yeah, I know, you're absolutely right. But anyway, yeah. So that's pretty much my life.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I have been cruising through games. I talked about it partially last week, but I want to go more in depth with it. I have been making my way back. I started back on my thread of getting through the AC games that I never played. So I beat 3 and Liberation over the break. 3 was good, but oh boy, did it have some problems. The new combat system is fun, but it was janky, and decided that it had problems like differentiating between the different like enemy types a lot, to where it would give you prompts you're supposed to have at certain times and times you're not. And like it result in situations where you were either John Wick or Mr. Bean. And like no in between. It was just you were either slaughtering everyone or you couldn't block, hit, grapple, or reverse, or nothing. And then I'm like, I played this exact like engine and fighting like mechanics in Syndicate, and I was a fucking beast. I never had problems. So then like, and then there's other stuff where like Hatham's the big bad. Hatham was the easiest boss fight I think I've had in a history of video games. And also, I don't mean to be that guy to act like I'm pretentious. Who here has all played Assassin's Creed 3? Anyone?
Not a whole lot. Not
Okay.
a whole lot.
So, a big everyone, spoiler for a game that came out in the PS3 and Xbox 360. There's this big thing where Hatham is the characters you play for the first 3 sequences.
Yeah.
And it's Connor's dad and Edward's son. So the big thing is that you're doing all this stuff, and to get there, and then you get to this guy, Charles Lee, and then you get to this scene in sequence 3 that all of a sudden you pull out this ring and you induct him as part of the Templars, showing that Kenway is a Templar and not an assassin. And I messaged my buddy, who is a giant Assassin's Creed fan, and I'm like, I don't mean to be a pretentious dick, but was this meant to not be obvious? And he's like, well, it shook the crap out of me. I'm like, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. I just played all the way from 1 through Revelations, 4 Assassin's Creed games in a row, and when you talk about the assassins, you say the Brotherhood.
Yes.
When you talk about the Templars, oh, now I'm blanking on it. You say the Order.
Yeah.
The entire time, including the opening scene where Kenway is getting his marching orders to go over to America from England, he gets addressed as a member of the Order. And every time you do a mission, it's like, as the Order dictates. And the entire time, like, I feel like that one character in Goodfellas where I'm always seeing, like, I feel like I'm seeing the helicopters chasing me. I'm like, what? Like, how? There's no way this guy's an assassin. He keeps saying Order. He's never said Brotherhood once. You're not fooling me that he's got hidden blades,
It's
dude.
true. That's true.
Yeah, so then, but then you spent a good chunk of the game, like, behind a cannon shooting at infantrymen. Like, I played this game to be an assassin. And then on a horse, talking through rows of soldiers to shoot muskets. I'm like, this isn't Assassin's Creed to me. Connor was awesome. He's built like a silverback gorilla and can just mow through people. But I'm like, okay. Then the next game, Liberation, which stars Eveline de Grand Prix, like set in New Orleans during like the slave trade. Legitimately one of the best games in the series, in my opinion. And the combat is exactly the same, except I never had issues with it. The glitches never happened. And it was a game that was made with lesser power and obviously with less money put into it. But
yeah,
it was so good. She was great. You had like 3 different personas that you got to go through for different missions. One was like, you get adopted into a hoity-toity family by 2 white, like, rich people. You had like the ever so princess whatever get up that you got to go around to functions and sneak around and stuff. You had your slave get up to go, hey Pringle, to like infiltrate slave compounds to free slaves, and then you had your assassin get up. You had all 3 different ways to like lower your notoriety and other stuff, and I thought switching around would get irritating. It never did. One thing that was interesting though, and I didn't know, and I kind of knew this about this game, but not to what extent. The game is Templar propaganda. So like, you'll do a mission, and they'll purposely make the assassins look like outright just terrorists. And it never and I'm like, what the hell? And then you'll get this thing that says kill Citizen E, and then you'll get them like 3/4 of the way through a mission, and it will replay a scenario, except you'll get the actual dialogue that happened historically, and it's way different. So then at the end of the game, again, spoilers for a game that came out on the Xbox 360 and PS3, at the very end of it, you just give these plates to your mom who turns out to be a Templar, and then it just hits credits. And then all the credits and developers are people who are well-known Abstergo Templars in the credits for developing the game. And then it glitches out, and it goes, ding, you get an achievement, and then all of a sudden it kicks you back in, and they're trying to use the plates, and it doesn't work for this big grand scheme, and then they're like, oh, you bitch! And then like you actually have the real ending where you kill her as a Templar and the actual real credits hit.
What the
It was so cool. It was literally meant for you, because like now after 3 and Desmond dying, like Abstergo is like a front for the Templars to make like movie VR things. Like you go into Kenway's life as part of VR to like live the pirate life as like a movie interactive. And like this one was about the slave trade in New Orleans. So it was meant to make the assassins look bad back in history by changing it through this VR thing.
Oh my god! Wow.
I was like, what the hell? That was actually a really cool idea.
Yeah.
The other thing
It is actually.
is I've been finishing and catching up a little on Gachiakata. The dub kind of went weird where there's something with scheduling and other things, so it's not completely caught up. I have 2 more episodes to go. I watched the latest episode, and if this character in this series tracks as good as they are, Gita Heavy Fantasia from Gachiakata might be in like my top 5 favorite female anime characters of all time.
Ooh.
You know, Mike, when I told you that like I love Mako so much because she's a fucking Looney Tunes character they stuck in the middle of an anime,
Yeah.
that is Gita but on crack.
Oh boy.
Oh, Jesus.
There's this very first scene where they get back from this very first mission that's after this super emotional, well-made, trauma-filled moment where Gita, this kid, comes screeching into this bar where they're eating, and she's in this full-on, like, lizard onesie, comes walking over to the table, and she's like, how you doing, Rudo? How you been, friend? And you just look over at her, he's like, who are you? And her face turns into, like, fucking Doodle Bob all of a sudden, like, you don't know me? I was there when you ran into HQ when we all first met. And then they show the scene, and Gita is like in the fucking corner, and you can barely see her face. Just like, the betrayal! And then, like, Rudo is from the sphere. And, like, if you fall down to the ground, the pit, they're not supposed to know you're from the sphere because it's basically like racial discrimination. You're like on the hoity-toity, even if you're on the shit end, and they'll, like, try and kill you. So, like, they're in the middle of this bar, and your team leader, she's like, hey, tell me about the sphere. I want to know. Your team leader's like, you can't be asking about that in public. He's like, you gotta ask later. That's dumb. He's right here. I'm just going to ask him now. And for those that want to watch, I am telling you now, it is some of the most fun I've had watching an anime in the past fucking decade. Everything in there has vital instruments. Like, you care for an object so much that it gets imbued with powers from you genuinely just caring for it. She might have the best vital instrument in the entire show. I'm not going to say what it is because it comes out of fucking nowhere, and it's so fucking cool. It's so good. I cannot say enough about how good Gachiakata is. Okay, all right, so let's get a little bit into everything here. Now we can let the comments be back in there. And whoop, there we go. All right, so start off with some buy or sells here. Kiona, buy or sell that Vietnam is to pass a law forcing all social media platforms like YouTube to let users skip any form of ad within 5 seconds.
Buy.
Bye.
Bye.
The law comes into effect on February 15th.
You know, if you want... okay, I was going to say something very inherently political. I'm not going to do that. Instead, because this is your podcast, bro. But, you know, they got it right. That's all I'll say. They got it right.
Also, and it's the same thing with Australia, where it's like, you need to, like, have an ID to, like, be on social media. Like, and you need to be, like, 18. Yes. I would kick it to 25 when your brain's fully formed.
Real.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, you know what? That's a very good thing. I think it's a very good thing. Yeah. So for sure.
All right. Bree, buy or sell that Sebastian Stan has been added to the Batman, and do you think he's going to be Hush?
Buy and God, please?
Because he looks a decent amount like Pattinson, and that's kind of looked like what they were leading to with all the bad history with the Wayne family.
You know, that makes a lot of sense. Honestly, that makes a lot of sense. And also that would work within the framework of the Matt Reeves sort of Batman verse there. And I was thinking it might also be Harvey
That's
Dent
what I was thinking
initially. But yeah, now that you say Hush, I think he would make a really good Hush, honestly.
He'd make good either, honestly.
Yeah.
In the right situation, if they didn't do it already, he would have made a not quite the like serial killer Saw person. He also would have made a different version of like a good Riddler.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
But also, like the cast for this movie, if everyone expected to be in it, Robert Pattinson, Sebastian Stan, Scarlett Johansson, Colin Farrell, Barry Keoghan, Jeffrey Wright, and Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
A ridiculous
That's
cast.
insane.
That's a great cast.
That's freaking insane. All right, Mike, buy or sell the new Doomsday X-Men trailer?
I buy this, and out of the 3 Doomsday trailers that are officially released, because no, I haven't seen the...
Every one of them has leaked!
Literally all of them have leaked. But I haven't seen that one yet. But out of the 3 official ones, I think this one might be the best.
Yeah, you actually got a good amount out of it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, the memes are incredible, because I reposted this on my Blue Sky. I have Connor for real will return in Adventures Doomsday.
Okay, the thing is for real, but hey, remember what I said earlier that 25 should be the like kicker for social media?
Yes.
For some people, it should just be never, because the very first comment was underneath the Doomsday trailer when I saw it on Twitter was a long drawn-out explanation about how they're forcing politics into the X-Men because the red with the black in the X-Men logo, and I'm quoting them here, this is not me saying this, which is not its regular color, is forcing imperialism into the X-Men.
What?
What?
What? How does that...
I
guess Terry McGinnis is an imperialist too.
Yeah.
Guess so.
Yeah. So much. All right.
Jeez.
Yeah, X-Men went woke and now they're broke.
No, that's my favorite. That's my favorite thing ever. Is anytime I see a thing where they're seeing that now that Marvel's going to make X-Men, they're like, great, now they're going to put politics in the X-Men.
Really? Really?
Like, how dare they're ruining my favorite series, guys! Ugh, those SJWs! Ugh.
Ever tried not being a mutant?
To quote the man who co-created them, face front, true believer, and actually take the stick out of your ass.
God, there's some people that I just can't.
Sorry, that was a paraphrase, not a quote.
No, I get you. All right, Fiona, if you saw it, buy or sell the "They Will Kill You First" trailer.
I love it. It's definitely a buy. It's very Ready or Not. It is. I see the comparisons there, definitely. But Zazie Beetz still tapping into her Domino powers. I think that this is what happened to Domino during Deadpool and Wolverine. Frankly, this is just what happened to her.
I would love it if that were true.
Yeah,
that'd be
Zazie
amazing.
needs more stuff. Period.
She really does. She's amazing.
Not enough people saw her in Bullet Train. First of all, not enough people have seen Bullet Train.
Not enough people have seen that movie. That movie's good, yeah. It's so great.
That movie's so good. Watch Jacob appear in the chat out of nowhere.
Yep.
Just to tell me about Bullet Train. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Bree, buy or sell that Warner Brothers is expected to reject another takeover bid from Paramount to acquire the company. Larry Ellison, one of the richest men in the world, even committed $40+ billion in equity and financing to Warner Brothers. They will likely still reject the offer.
Because they don't want that. They don't want to be saddled with CBS. CBS doesn't want to be saddled with CBS.
Hey guys, if we get Warner Brothers, if we get Warner Brothers, we're gonna put 30 movies in a theater a year. No, just throw them Avatar films on Paramount Plus. We don't. What do you mean? That's the opposite of what we said we were gonna do. No.
I'll say this. At least Sorrento's, at least he's, transparent what he's gonna do and has been consistent in his messaging. And doesn't, do a switch up every 5 minutes.
True.
Yeah, it's... Anyway, you won't return your call, bro. All right.
So true.
Alrighty, I'm gonna get that one out of there. Mike, buy or sell that James Wan wants to direct Avatar 4?
Mm-mm. It's a cautious buy. Obviously, I think James Cameron is going to stick around for at least through Avatar 4. 5, you might be like, you know what? Let's get someone else. But
No,
4,
I did
since I
acquire
think
the Terminator rights back like 40 years ago.
something we I don't think we put in the notes. Avatar Fire and Ash finally cleared $1 billion. So
Finally. Cook them long enough.
Yeah,
Underachievers.
yeah. You know what, like, the weird thing is? Haven't, like, all the Avatar films just been, like, leggy? I don't think
They
any of them
have
have any of them have had huge opening weekends.
No, the first one went on for fucking ever because of like 3D and all that shit. That went on and on and on and on.
the way of Water actually did have a pretty big opening weekend, and then like a kind of normal drop in its second weekend. Fire and Ash is like it's doing just regular old Avatar numbers.
It's also doing Rule 34 numbers. If you saw the movie, whoo boy. People be liking Varang. Anyway,
Yep.
Kiona, buy or sell that Finn Wolfhard will be focusing on music post Stranger Things.
You know, live your dream, kiddo. As I say, sure. Why not?
Well, I think he's had that band for a while, because I remember, like, it
Finn
was
and
some...
the Wolfhards?
No, it's like some, like, indie, rock thing or whatever, because I remember, like...
Wolf and the Finhards?
No, but I remember some interview of him talking about the band from, like, years ago. Like, I think it's been around... I think it's been around at least since he's been doing, like, season 2 or 3 Stranger Things, so...
I don't know if that band is still active, because now he's got a solo career going.
Oh no, Mike, did you die?
We didn't hear the... You said...
Yeah, we did not.
Gotta...
Left us on a cliffhanger.
Oh, can you hear me now?
We can hear
Yeah.
you now.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. As I was saying, I think he has a solo career now, so that's probably why you haven't heard much from his other band.
Finn and the Hard Wolf.
Yeah, there you go.
Finn and his wolf is hard. Never mind. That was that really... I'm turning into Pat.
That wolf has a hard fin, let me tell you.
Yeah, I'm turning into Pat Oswald. I need to stop. Bree, buy or sell that the... Or actually, I will go back to you on this one, Keonis. This is gaming. Buy or sell that the Silent Hill producer confirms plans to release about one title per year now that the franchise is back on track.
Sure, we'll see what Konami has to say about that. I'm kidding. That's a joke. That's a joke. Cautious buy. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not really sure that we need one Silent Hill a year, you know? Maybe let's not do the annual release calendar thing, but okay, it's fine. As long as they're good, I guess. As long as they're not like that one that they tried to do on streaming where people could vote for what happened or whatever the fuck.
Alrighty. So, Mike, how do you want to go about this? Do you just want to bitch for a while, or like what?
I don't remember exactly what it was I had to say, but I did want to just as a general rule, when it comes to the internet, please, for the love of God, don't just absorb your news from headlines or on social media, those aggregate sites who take take a random beat from like the 9th paragraph of a completely unrelated article from like Variety or Deadline or whatever and blow that up into the main story. Like, no, guys, Netflix has not said, "Oh, we are definitely doing a 17-day theatrical window." That's just some speculation from the writer of that Deadline article talking about how Stranger Things, the finale, performed in movie theaters, which 25 million for like a series finale. Oh yeah, and yeah, like that's actually not not too shabby.
No, not even remotely. Like, I mean, also, what was the thing? Apparently, there was a lot of chains of theaters that I guess that they didn't actually. I don't know if this is true. I saw like there was reports going into it that were like some were pretty legit and some were pretty whatever. That they sold popcorn and concessions at a lot of these events, but didn't sell technical tickets.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
That way you couldn't get money on the back end to the people that were in the show.
correct.
Yeah. So
Yes.
this
Yeah.
whole
Contractual.
thing was entirely for the benefit of theaters, and Netflix doesn't get a dime of this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Mm.
that was something. Alrighty. Yeah.
And then, do we want to talk about the other mistake?
We probably should, because guys,
Oh yeah.
why?
Go ahead.
You know what? How do you even start this without sounding insane?
I don't think there's a good way, so I think you just ripped the
No, you know what, Mike? You might have to hold my hand here, but okay. So imagine you're like a trans woman, so that's basically just being a woman on like extra difficulty mode, and you innocuously post about some weird like Animal Crossing mod to give like the dog character like bigger boobies.
Big old yabos, just giant.
Okay. Okay, so we have the image in place. Dog with boobs. Okay. So imagine getting 3 days of harassment, like running this person off the site for 24 hours and getting like death threats and like misgendering over not liking a mod.
That put boobs on a dog.
Yes.
Can we get the clip from Animaniacs where Yakko does a commercial
Isabel.
for the 1-800 please get a life foundation?
But when there's some like insane things, I'm like, look, I don't care if you're like a furry, like if you're into like the weirder stuff of it, but if you're just like LARPing and like drawing OCs and like, you know, just doing fursuits, I don't care. I don't give a shit. You do you, bro. But here's like my thing. I don't want to get like it too like political, but this is in Rolling Stone, so I'm just stating like a fact. These are all facts. Like people like make the assumption that like furries are all like left wing. They're not. Furries have had a Nazi problem for a long time. Like Nazi furs are like a thing. So then when you're saying stuff of like, oh, they should be like a protected class, and I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. No, you're not a protected class. I'm sorry, you're not. You could be trans, but like, no, furries are not. No. If, you know, if something happened to you, I don't think the UN is gonna go and investigate, you know, the persecution of the furs.
Jesus.
No,
Oh God.
probably not.
No, but it's my point, because it's like Blue Sky should blow up now, because now it's just like Twitter. And because this is like vintage Twitter, like, and this is like my kind of spicy statement. I mean, in the history of the internet, like right-wing weirdos and stuff, like you know, 4chan and crap, like that's not new. Like that's as tale as old as time. But I am tired of basically like leftists, please. You know, like the type of like, if you tell them to touch grass, they'll say that the grass is racist and ableist. Like,
oh. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, you know exactly what I talk about. And that's not me like being like super political. I'm just stating like a fact of like you need help. Like you are like so divorced from like any form of reality. And I'm like, God, I'm glad I could just walk away from my phone. I could play fetch with my dog. I could have a life. And that's neat.
It is. Yeah, it's one of those things where like if you can't masturbate to it, it's not okay. Kind of deals. Like
Umbreon.
grass is all about the other colors as colorist.
No, but I think like the other point of the controversy was, and it was Pokemon, and I think she was right to an extent. And I think Brock, you'll agree with me on this, that a lot of times, like people that make those, we're gonna fix her, like the Aloy weirdos. Like I kind of feel like there is like an overlap in between.
There's a lot of it.
Like
Yeah,
I want mods
Western
to.
dev made this versus Chinese dev that likes titties.
Yeah, literally
America's
that.
destroying women.
Yeah, like legit. That was like the example that she used.
Yeah.
But anyway, like I want mods for like non like creepy shit, like putting Thomas the Tank Engine in Resident Evil.
Yeah, like like one of my favorite mods of all time is in Resident Evil Remake 2 that when Mr. X is coming through a wall, X gon' give it to you by DMX.
Oh my god, I love that.
It's just the best. I'm like, that makes me want to play Resident Evil on a PC. Like, or when they made the freaking dragons in Skyrim be voiced by Macho Man Randy Savage. Like, those are the type of mods that I want.
Or what about the
absolutely.
GoldenEye mods?
Or no, that's another thing. But we're getting into gaming now. We need to bring back cheat codes,
Hell
Yes.
like DK mode in GoldenEye, paintball mode. That shit that used to just be in the games, but now you have to mod them in there.
Big head mode
Yeah, it was
in like NBA Jam.
yeah. Like, why can't we just have this crap in there? It doesn't hurt anything. Really doesn't. Like the last time I saw cheat codes entering into something was The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
You can enable like unlimited ammo or like unlimited grenades or like other things like that. Doesn't hurt anything. And if you're one of those, like, I hate to death when a single player game, and I will say that this is one thing that PlayStation has gotten bad about in recent years. I do rip on PlayStation, guys. They're not perfect. I just prefer them. When they start nerfing and balancing weapons in a single player game.
Yeah, what? It's a single player. Like, who gives a shit?
Like, if you're so worried about that and you don't want cheats in it, cool. Make it you can access the cheats after you beat the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like, I was so pissed in, like, GTA 5 when you literally can't enter cheats.
I know.
You can't tell
So
me
dumb.
everyone on the PS2 and Xbox 360 games didn't have pieces of paper with every cheat code you ever used written down in it for, like, GTAs. I had every weapon code memorized. I had the jetpack memorized. I had the exact cars I wanted memorized. Some days I couldn't remember what food I ate that week, but I knew what kind of weapons I was going to get if I did the right circle instead of left up, left up. Like, it was so dumb. But yeah, all right. Anyway, let's get into some gaming news. There's not a ton. There's a lot more about actual movie stuff because, oh boy, it's going to be a spicy enchilada this week.
Yep.
All right, so Assassin's Creed Hexe, which I'm looking forward to quite a bit, is shaping up to be a different kind of Assassin's Creed game. Darker, smaller in scope, and far more unsettling than recent entries. Set in the 16th century Holy Roman Empire, it takes place during the witch trials and mass hysteria in Central Europe. Heavy focus on fear, superstition, paranoia, and persecution, rumored to be the darkest AC game ever. Female lead, oh heavens!
Oh, God.
Possibly named Elsa. Motivated by the revenge of her mother's execution during the witch trials. Narrative expected to blend real history with Assassin's Creed lore. Big fucking shocker there. Possibly supernatural undertones. Not confirmed. Not traditional RPG style. Strong emphasis on stealth, tension, and atmosphere. Designed to feel more intimate, psychological, and unsettling. Developed by Ubisoft Montreal. Written by Darby McDevitt, one of the franchise's strongest narrative leads. Game director Benoit Richer from Batman Arkham Origins, which, if y'all have not played that game, other than when it was buggy at launch, it's fucking fantastic.
Oh, dude. Yeah, it's so good.
So good.
Honestly, I love it.
Yes. It's been in development for over 5 years, the longest dev cycle in AC history. It's
Wow.
rumored to launch in 2026 and 2027. I am looking quite forward to that. And another thing that I just found out that was cool that I actually wish they would have put in, because this would have been really different in the remake, if this is true, this guy showed no actual proof of this thing existing, but went into great detail about it. I just threw my debit card at the screen after hearing that. A major piece of horror history is left on the cutting room floor. Resident Evil 4 Remake originally featured a full opening chapter starring Ashley Graham set in before Leon entered the village.
Ooh.
According to the restored content uncovered by modder Michael Kemp, aka The Kempy, the game was meant to open with Ashley alone in the woods at night, secretly witnessing Los Illuminados performing a ritual sacrifice. While the chapter was cut before release, enough leftover assets, paths, autosaves, and event markers remained in the game files to construct a playable Chapter 0. The restored version shows Ashley sneaking through the forest, avoiding Ganados, and eventually making her way towards a village, a slow, tension-heavy introduction that contrasts sharply with the remake's action-driven opening. The sense of, okay, the remake didn't just only have an action, that the original one did too. The scene briefly appeared in Capcom's October 2022 story trailer, but was never accessible in the final build. The Kempy explains that while the full cutscenes are missing, even event labels and script reveal planned stealth moments, enemy patrols, story beats, giving fans a rare look at how different the remake's tone could have been. Also noted by PC Gamer, the chapter leaned for more into suspense in combat. Why was it cut? Likely pacing. Capcom may have made decided that the opening was slow, non-combat sequence didn't match the remake's aggressive tempo. Interesting, Capcom seems ready to embrace the tonal contrast again, since, like you saw in Resident Evil Requiem, that they're pretty much going to have that exact same tonal switch, so that could be fun. All right, the last gaming news that I wanted to ask Kiona about. Cyberpunk 2 director said extending 2027's opening act would have made no sense. It's like it's like saying we should spend more time on Tatooine with Farmer Luke. What I think he means by this is, like, you know, the monologue that you go through for your life path, like where you're like dancing with Jackie and all that. I think he was saying that a lot of people said that you should have played through all of that.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's what he's referring to. I don't necessarily agree 100% with that, but just because I think that they could have done something interesting with it, because I know that was like the one time where they actually had like separate paths for each sort of, like, you know, you could either be the corpo, or you could be the nomad, or you could be the street kid. I would have liked to maybe expand upon that a little bit more. Everything just seemed really funneled after that beginning cutscene. And so I would have liked to have seen maybe slightly different things, but, like, considering the ambition of the game and probably was already in place, maybe this was like stuff that they added later.
Yeah.
So I could see that from like a technical perspective, or like the perspective of somebody who's already neck deep in you know, doing the work and crunching and shit. But in terms of me as a player, wishing that we had more of that and like extended it out and not had every single life path just lead to the same cutscene. I remember feeling that when I first played the game. I remember thinking, like, you know, I mean, I like the cutscene, I really do.
Yeah.
But I would have liked to have played some of that, and I think it would have been a little bit more impactful in terms of like your relationship with the other characters, like with when you're the street kid, like with what was his name, Padre.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been cooler if we had like a little bit more of a connection to him and stuff.
Yeah, like it's essentially always makes you a street kid.
Yeah. It essentially just funnels you into one path, even though they had like the 3 separate, you know, life paths at the beginning. I wish that they had done something a little bit more with that, just to sort of start you off and make you feel the differences between the 3 choices that you make. But I think it might have been a limitation in terms of the technology also. Like, maybe the game was just, I mean, we already know that the game visually was a huge project.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And like, I don't know that, you know, maybe there was some limitation there. But hopefully not for the sequel. Hopefully in the sequel we get to see more differentiation and more variety and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
so
they won't be fighting with their own engine this time, so that's...
Yeah, completely, totally, yeah. So I think that there's room for improvement in terms of giving the players more variety and letting you see what the life paths could have given you in terms of differences and stuff like that. I watched, actually, I think it was have you guys ever heard of a guy named Josh Strife Hayes?
That name sounds familiar.
He's a YouTuber, and he's like a British YouTuber, and he will play like he'll do like these really long videos of him just like critiquing a game. And he did Cyberpunk, and although he didn't like it very much, because he was looking at it as a more serious RPG, and to him it was more of an action game with some RPG trimmings, especially now.
Yeah.
And I could see that. I like understand his point there. I still love the game for what it is, but I do think that there is room for improvement in terms of like some of the choice elements, player choices, and like expanding on the life paths and just giving you a little more variety in terms of how quest lines turn out and the types of missions that you take on, that sort of thing. So yeah, I mean, I've always been like the type of person who like I love that game, but at the same time I do see the areas for improvement.
Yeah. I saw someone do recently that like by one of the bridges there's a button to turn all the streetlights off.
That's cool.
Didn't know that.
I did not know that.
Like, what? You can do that?
But you know what the thing of it was when I watched that guy do his playthrough and stuff, one of the things that he said that I absolutely related to was it's like an awesome driving simulator because of the visuals and the atmosphere. And like if you drive through Night City on like a motorcycle or in like one of the cooler cars, and you just have like all of the lighting and the music and just the visuals and everything, and just drive through the city. It's so cool. It's so much fun. Even without RTX, it's still fun because it's just so much visual fidelity now. I mean, probably at launch it probably wasn't that way, but but now we're the game's in a good place. So obviously, so like,
100%. Yeah. I think they did part of it to, at least to a degree, to be like they let you just getting to know to like accommodate Jackie so they can rip him away.
Yeah.
That might be part of why they did it. But
it worked for me too. That did work for me because I really liked Jackie. I found him a very likable character.
So did I.
And I wish that he was around for more of the game, frankly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can find him in interesting ways later on, but alrighty. Mike, if you want to take it away for these next two.
All right, so on Sunday night was the broadcast for the 31st Critics' Choice Awards, and I won't go through all of the winners, but just a couple of the highlights. Best Picture went to One Battle After Another. Other nominees were Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Jay Kelly, Mari Supreme, Sentimental Value, Sinners, Train Dream, and Wicked for Good. Best Director.
Apparently I have to see Train Dream because I've heard really good things about that.
Same.
And also Begonia is really good.
Yes. Begonia was quite good.
Love the ending. Oh my god. Anyway, continue.
Best Director went to Paul Thomas Anderson. Also in that category was Ryan Coogler for Sinners, Guillermo del Toro for Frankenstein, Josh Safdie for Mari Supreme, Joachim Trier for Sentimental Value, and Chloe Zhao for Hamnet. Best Actor went to Timothée Chalamet for Mari Supreme. He was going up against Leonardo DiCaprio, Joe Edgerton, Ethan Hawke, Michael B. Jordan, and Wagner Moura for The Secret Agent. Best Actress, Jessie Buckley for Hamnet. She was going up against Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Chase Infinity from One Battle After Another. Renate Reinsev from Sentimental Value. Amanda Seyfried from The Testament of Anne Lee. And Emma Stone from Begonia. Best Supporting Actor went to Jacob Elordi from Frankenstein.
Nice.
He was going up against Benicio del Toro, Paul Mescal, Sean Penn, Adam Sandler, and Stellan Skarsgård. Best Supporting Actress, this is a great one for horror fans, Amy Madigan for Weapons as Gladys.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. She was going up against Elle Fanning,
Fantastic.
Ariana Grande, I'm going to butcher this last name, Inga Lilias?
look. I screw it up every time I've looked at it.
Wonmi Mosaku from Sinners and Tiana Taylor from One Battle After Another.
Oh, very good.
Best Young Actor, Actress, Miles Caton from Sinners. He was up against Everett Blunk from The Plague, which I hear is really good. Carrie Christopher from Weapons. He was Alex, one of the kids from the class that went missing.
Oh, cool.
Shanna Mahina Gorman from Rental Family. Jacoby Jupe, that's Noah Jupe's little brother, as Hamnet. And Nina Yi from Left-Handed Girl.
Who won that one?
Nina Yi.
Oh,
I didn't see Left-Handed Girl, but I hear that one's pretty good.
Heard it's all right.
Jesus.
Obviously, best song is Golden, which I think that's gonna win the Oscar easily.
Good.
Frankenstein won a couple different craft awards. They won for let's see, best costume design, best production design, and best hair and makeup.
Nice.
Nice.
And then obviously K-pop Demon Hunters won best animated feature. The Naked Gun won best comedy, which
Hell yeah.
I love that.
Hell yeah.
I see kills every day.
and best foreign language film is The Secret Agent from Brazil.
You know what was my favorite thing from The Naked Gun, if I may derail the conversation for a second? My
Yeah,
favorite thing was the
derail.
Buffy joke.
Oh,
Yes.
No, I
When he's just like, no Daniel Osborne.
that is
No.
my DVR plugged into an Ethernet cable.
It's like, no Willow meeting her doppelganger from another universe episode. So freaking funny.
Oh, God.
I love that the Critics' Choice has they have
Yeah.
those like genre awards, especially for
Yeah.
comedy.
I love that.
Uh,
Well deserved, man. That movie was great.
they need to make 15. Liam Neeson needs to make those Sleep Dies. Those are so good.
Who's not a fan of the Black Eyed Peas?
Well, I think
Morons,
it's
that's who.
Liam Neeson and I forget it. What was it? Akiva who directed that?
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like any of the Lonely Island guys. Like to me, this is redemption for us failing as a society to have pop star bombing.
Like seriously, everyone says like they want to see more comedies, but then like that movie just it just ate shit at the box office.
He's like,
and
yo,
I will
I'm kinda for real.
I will never forgive people for letting that movie flop.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
with that Power Rangers reboot. Con! Sorry. Rita! Anyways.
After 10,000 years.
I'm free. It's time to conquer Dunkin' Donuts.
No, it's time to conquer Krispy Kreme.
Oh yeah, it was Krispy Kreme. That's right. I thought it was Krispy Kreme. You were right.
No, the way she says it's like Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme.
It's such an insane line, Reed. Oh my god.
It is
Movie
just
was a crack
insane.
dream. I loved every minute of it.
I'm not sure how many of these TV awards I'm going to go through because I'm not as caught up on TV as I am.
Neither am I.
But
Never mind.
my biggest takeaway from this is I really have to see The Studio and The Pit.
You need to see the studio. The studio is very, very good. Very
Yeah,
good.
like I think that they've
Super
been
funny.
re-airing on like TNT, like season 1 of The Pit before season 2 streams.
Oh
Mm.
yeah, and I'm pretty sure season 2 starts like in a couple weeks, if not like a week.
Yeah.
So yeah, those were the Critics' Choice Awards, and
Very good.
I don't know if we're going to cover the Golden Globes next week, but you're going to probably see some of the same people on the broadcast.
Probably.
I can imagine that. Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Now, the real juicy award stuff is the Annie Awards, which this year it gets pretty nutty.
Yes, there's some goofy ass choices in there. Not gonna lie.
So we'll start with kind of the basic ones for best feature, which is kind of like the big prize. This is for mostly Western animation. We've got Elio, K-pop Demon Hunters, Little Amelie or the Character of Rain, which good for G Kids for getting into the big category. The Bad Guys 2 and Zootopia 2. For Best Feature Independent, we have A Magnificent Life, Arco, I Am Frankelda, which is Mexico's first stop-motion animated feature, Lost in Starlight, and Scarlet. And now we have a bunch of craft awards, which let's take a look at how many K-pop is nominated for. Because K-pop and Elio tied for most nominations with 10. So K-pop Demon Hunters is also up for Outstanding Achievement for Animated Effects in an Animated Production, along with Elio, In Your Dreams, The Bad Guys 2, and Zootopia 2. They're also nominated for Outstanding Achievement in Character Animation. Same thing with Elio, Little Amelie or the Character of Rain, The Bad Guys 2, and Zootopia 2. They're also up for Outstanding Achievement for Character Design. And other nominees include Elio, Fixed, the SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants, and The Twits. Kind of random, but whatever. They are
Tell us
also
how you really feel about the Twits.
Outstanding Achievement for Directing. This went to Arco, Chainsaw Man the movie, Reze Arc, K-pop Demon Hunters, Little Amelie or the Character of Rain, and Scarlet. Good for Mamoru Soda.
Was that a sonic boom?
I have no
I just
idea.
heard. You know what? Brock's picture, the Cody picture just popped up and I just lost it.
Okay. We also have Outstanding Achievement for Editorial in an Animated Production. So that went to Arco, Elio, K-pop Demon Hunters, Little Amelie, the Character of Rain, and Olivia in the Clouds. And then we've got Outstanding Achievement for Music in an Animated Feature. That also went to Arco, Elio, K-pop Demon Hunters, Little Amelie or the Character of Rain, and Zootopia 2. And then Outstanding Achievement for Production Design. K-pop Demon Hunters is nominated for that, along with Elio, The Bad Guys 2, The Twits, and Zootopia 2. And then, of course, we have Outstanding Achievement for Voice Acting in an Animated Production. We have Lil Rel Howery for Dogman. He played the Chief of Police.
So
the
I was
voice
at
of
the other end of my house in my living room, or in my kitchen getting water, and I heard you mention Chainsaw Man because I still had my headset on. And I went, "Let's go!" I didn't know if you were gonna hear me or not, but then I heard you guys laughing.
Oh. Where was I? Remy Edgerlin for Elio is nominated for Best Voice Acting. He played Glorden. Craig Robinson for In Your Dreams as a character named Baloney Tony. And then Arden Cho is nominated for Rumi for K-pop Demon Hunters. And let's see if I can pronounce this right. Maitreyi Ramakrishnan as Bisha from The Twits. And then the last award, at least for features, Outstanding achievement for writing in an animated feature production.
Yeah.
Elio, K-pop Demon Hunters, Little Amelie, or the character of Rain, Scarlet, good for Mamoru Hosoda, and Zootopia 2.
I remember I texted you yesterday with the writing one. And I was like, LOL, what?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of the... I'm... It's a very baffling
Right. It's not
category.
even me being a hater. Like, I'm like, really? I mean, some of these, like, I admittedly have not seen, but, like, two of those, let's just say, like, aren't, like, maybe critically okay, but not, like, critically acclaimed or whatever. Like, I know this year was a bad year for animation. Well, actually, you know what? For movies in general, like, it was a pretty dry year last year. Like, that's why most of the stuff that's in serious contention, I feel like, for the big Best Picture awards is stuff that's come out in, like, the last couple weeks. It's just been, like, that dry.
I mean, that's kind of par for the course. That like this year or 2025 reminds me a lot of 2013, where a lot of the best movies are the ones that came out in the last couple months.
Yeah, which I know that's, Oscar season, that's, like, not that abnormal, but I'm like, it's definitely been to a more noticeable degree.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah. You didn't mention Chainsaw Man, Umbreon. It was so
I'll go through some of the coolest nominations, like for the television side of things. First of all, Common Side Effects did pretty well. They were up for, I think, 5 awards. They're up for Outstanding Achievement for Directing, along with Dan Da Dan, Not a Box, Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and The Quinta's Ghost. Also, Outstanding Achievement for Editorial, along with Asterix and Obelix, The Big Fight, Haunted Hotel, Invincible, and Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Death Watch. Also, Outstanding Achievement for Music in an Animated Television / Broadcast Production. That went to Common Side Effects, Devil May Cry, the Cartoon Saloon short Iru, Snoopy Presents a Summer Musical, and Win or Lose. And let's see, what other television ones? Best TV / media for mature audience. Bob's Burgers, Common Side Effects, a show that I haven't seen yet, but I've heard a lot of good things about.
Yes.
Haha, you clowns.
It's so good. If you aren't watching it, please watch it.
Yes. And then I think that's Il Barcino, and then South Park. So overall, the Annie Awards are interesting this year. There's still plenty of good stuff in there, but also some really questionable choices.
Yeah, we'll have that.
I'm just happy though that Chainsaw Man is getting some recognition, especially for directing.
Just that intro with freaking Iris out alone is outrageous.
Oh yeah.
Oh. All right.
But here's my real question. Maximum the Hormone. You said you were going to release the full version. Where the fuck is it?
Like seriously, I need it like now.
Not me, mine. Okay. So, everyone, if you've not seen Stranger Things, leave or go watch it. Or if you hate yourself and don't care anyway, you can stay here, I guess. But yeah, we're gonna spend a significant amount of time talking about Stranger Things. Because oh boy, did everyone love it, and it went well.
The best even 67 out of 10.
Why'd you have to say
You know what? 'Cause that's what I said in my like writing group chat, and what if my friend said, first, how dare you? Second of all, like that is so accurate.
All right, so we're going to talk about the finale, our thoughts on it, before we get too much into the weeds about valid criticisms and also just people literally can't talk in ways that don't make a YouTube headline anymore. So it makes talking about things with people borderline impossible because media literacy is literally dead,
Mm-hmm.
reawoken, and then killed again with its old body. So yeah. I will say it was not perfect, but I was satisfied with it. The actual ending of the show, you conformist, gate, freakazoid, fuckwad, idiot, just freaking. Blah! You cannot like an ending and not have to cope so hard that you come up with a conspiracy theory that there's a fake ending for deleted scenes that you can't bring up.
Putting those people to the side.
Oh.
I'm sorry,
actually-
what was that about Mass Effect 3?
I will say
Things, Kiona.
I will say this.
Oh, that. Okay.
The ending itself, like the last scene, I thought that was good. That was the right that was like the right place to end their story.
Yeah,
Getting there.
yeah, it's the getting there. I think overall, like on paper, this is fine. It makes sense.
Yeah, it really is just the getting there that's a little on the rough side. But overall, I genuinely enjoyed. Well, I have just been enjoying the show from start to finish, but I think out of the entirety of season 5, the finale had the right amount of like, you know, good last moments for these characters.
It did. I still think like the worst part of season 5 was volume 2, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, which you know what? I think it's not as bad as people saying. It's just a noticeable downgrade, but I have to kind of amend that a little bit because I was kind of like more like goofy, whatever. But I actually rewatched the end of season 4. They had like all the momentum in the world. Like, seriously, like chills ending. Like, yeah, season 4 was kind of a little bumpy, like, not gonna lie, but the highs were really high. Great visuals, good looking show, whatever. You have like that ending when they're in the post apocalyptic landscape, and it's like, oh my god, like we're in fucking Endgame, baby. So you are like literally being held like storytelling on a silver platter, and they do absolutely nothing with it. I mean, Brock, I'm gonna disagree with you. I think Volume 1's probably worse because why are we having 11 doing like training montages? Like, especially when you go from like this ending, like we know it's gonna be like her and Henry and whatever, because she's like staring like angrily into the sky, saying, "I'm gonna get you, you fucker." Like, you are literally responsible for every bad thing that's happened to me, pretty much. So he's like,
Here's the thing. In volume 1, we get the training montage that turns into her doing something useful with the training. We get Will learning that he can control Vecna. We get the crawls and the upside down and the interesting stuff of like Dustin dealing with Eddie. In volume 2, we got the fact that Will was gay. And that was literally it.
Oh, and by the way, I actually did some digging. So I looked for the original pitch Bible for Stranger Things back when it was known as Montauk. And Will was written as gay the entire time. But throughout this entire like series, they've like made small like hints at it that like, hey, if you're gay, like, you know, but they wait until the 11th hour.
Hold on. That he was not gay. Say it correctly.
He doesn't like girls.
He doesn't like girls. Sorry, like my mistake. How bigoted of me.
The Byler trail, and multiple times Mike got mad at him because Mike wanted to hang out with 11 and Will wanted to play D&D, which was Will's entire plot line in 2, by the way, was wanting to play D&D. Even Noah Schnapp bitched about that was his only plot line in 2, was wanting to play D&D. And you want to know what Will says to him? It's not my fault you don't like girls. And the fact that he doesn't want to hang out with them because he'd rather just play D&D.
But here's what I'm saying, like on a surface level, that you're correct with the storytelling that 2 is worse. But here's my thing. If we're looking at it as a whole, like, why are we doing this? Like, we know what's gonna happen. Like, why are we treating it like everything's normal? Like, other than, like, I mean, to an extent, you can say it's a budget, but it's like, how far can you actually use that excuse? Like, why is Levin even training? Like, she should be, like, going after his ass constantly and, like,
but
looking
that's the thing,
for him.
They don't know where he is. They've done 68 crawls and haven't found him.
No, I understand that, but I'm like, why are we even doing crawls in the first place? Like, everything should be like a hellscape. Like everyone in Hawkins should be aware that, hey, we're being overrun by demons and things that want to kill us. Like, why are we doing this covert shit that we've been doing like the last couple seasons? Like, this is the last goddamn season. Like, why are you holding back?
Is they do give a written reason why. It's, you don't gotta like it, but they do give a written reason why.
No, I'm just saying, but like, seriously, rewatch the end of 4, like the last scene.
No, I agree with that part, but like, I've seen people that are like get upset about the crawls, and then they're like, why aren't they just blowing shit apart? Because the entire town is under military lock and key, and they can barely even breathe without looking in the wrong direction. You could say it's bad. You don't have to like it. That's 1,000%.
No,
good.
I like the idea of the crawls. It's like, why do they take up like nearly half the season?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of think that like what you're saying there, I kind of wish that they had gone with a little bit more action heavy kind of a thing, because they had the military right there, and you would think that the military would be like super like hardcore about let's get in there and let's try to fight these things and let's try to, maybe weaponize them or something.
You know what would have been good?
I mean, they were trying to do that, but they were trying to do that in a very like sort of like hands-off-ish kind of way, and I wish that they had done a little bit more with that, but I understand that budgetary concerns and whatnot, but
yeah, but it's like, this show's made Netflix how much money? It's just like Christ on a stick. But you know what the biggest egregious thing is? Linda's Hamilton is given nothing. Like,
nothing.
They should have done the action military. Like, they should have had, hey, Linda, just be Sarah Connor again. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, like, if you're gonna do stunt casting, at least be a little bit more transparent about it, instead of, like, trying to write this character that ultimately amounted to nothing.
And you know, like, the craziest thing is, like, her character could have, like, so easily been fixed, or, like, been made more substantial if they just made her and, like, the Jarhead guy character one character.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a good point.
True.
There's one thing, and I'm going to talk about parts that I don't like, but there's things that I need to bring up that, like, people literally are making up things to be mad about. So
Oh, can I post the image now?
Do it.
you can.
Okay. Oh, hold
But,
on.
But so I made a TikTok about this, and at the very end of Stranger Things, there is a fantastic scene, in my opinion anyway, where Hopper is did the lady that brought Kate's dies? She did. I was the only one that got a right prediction out of those BT dubs.
Oh, right. I forgot
Yeah,
about that.
I know that. And I'm like, I knew you were going to be right about that because I'm like, oh, there's no way. And I knew my picks were trash because I'm like, they don't have the balls. But we'll get to more into that later.
So, there's a one of my favorite scenes in the entire show, by the way, because David Harbour and Finn Wolfhard are very good actors. There's a scene at the end where like Finn is taking everything they have with Lemon very hard, and then Hop meets him on that bench.
Yeah.
And Finn is, having a very hard time. He's talking about the two paths and all that, which something that hit me very hard because of certain things like that. And it's genuinely hearing that right around New Year's was a great way to dice it in because people should think more about that. But so Finn is sitting on this bench. He's got his hands up like this. Hey guys, so this here is a Pixel Watch. See the top of it? How it's all one big touchscreen? No buttons? Buttons on the side? Does anyone on this panel have an Apple Watch?
I do.
Nope.
Want to show it for the screen real quick?
Sure.
Sure. You see how there's no buttons on the top of that? None
No buttons, yeah.
whatsoever?
Yep,
on the side there?
Yep, just the one dial button.
Just the one dial. So, Mike, for the entirety of this whole fucking show, and I understand a giant chunk of this entire people that have watched this show were born after 2000, but Mike is wearing a thing that has buttons on the top of it. And a screen that's this big. It's this big. And I saw no less than, I shit you not, going at this rate, 100 creators make the same TikTok that said, this show is shit. Why does Mike have an Apple Watch in 1989?
Is that not like a Casio watch?
It's a Casio fucking calculator watch with physical, pushable buttons on the top of it.
Oh,
This was
jeez.
a reason to bitch that the show was inaccurate, stupid, and lazily written.
Oh, that wasn't even like the worst one. The worst one
I know
is
it's not. I know it's not.
No, I meant, did you see the one with like Max and like the not Max? I think it was like Holly in like the Under Armour shirt
Yeah,
that like
they had a shirt for like the under part of her like long sleeve dress.
Yeah, it had the Under Armour logo, and they just forgot to edit it out. Like, shit like that happens.
Shit like that happens, but they don't accidentally wear Apple Watches. It was a fucking Casio with physical buttons on top. Again, I understand people watching this were born after 9/11. But technology existed previous to that.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy to think. Now, here's the big
Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, like, we had cameras in the 80s. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, crazy. But here's the other, and this is a giant encapsulation of 90% of the shit that I've seen bitched about on this show that's not actual plot lines or like bad writing. Because I'm not going to say this ending's perfect, because it's not. I enjoyed it, didn't say it was perfect. So, people bitched about the clock. People bitched about the 12 kids. People bitched about the plot line in the desert because that's not the way they would have liked it, or that didn't match their family. Or just an amalgamation of like 30,000 different things. And the Duffers, in their infinite fucking wisdom, spent the past 2 days doing interviews, answering fans' questions, because God knows that always goes well.
Oh, that'll go well, yeah.
And especially about the 12 kids thing. You know, just a number. They said that what was the reason behind the 12 kids? and he said, didn't really have a reason, we just picked 12 kids. 12 is an okay number, fits the clock theme, whatever. If they would have picked 11, they would have bitched at why did you just go with 12, you're a fucking pussy, why did you do it that way? Hey, Mike, so you, me, and Cameron did a thing for like an entire year. The Duffer Brothers, essentially, in a lot of this, they said a lot of the ideas they did because they were cool. There wasn't giant lore reasons. They just did it because they were cool and fit. Hey, Mike, you and me and Cameron, for like a year, covered a series. What was that series called?
Oh, Evangelion.
Evangelion. So, how is Evangelion regarded?
I would say pretty well regarded.
Pretty well. Like, it's I've heard people describe it as the Star Wars of anime, where like it's kind of like a rite of passage to watch Evangelion.
Yeah.
Like, it's rated up there as one of the greatest works of art. What is one of the things that is all fucking over this anime that we talk about with like angels and whatever? What's the theme there?
Oh, yeah, there's obviously some Christianity themes in there.
Cool. Can I say really quickly why Hideki Anno put all those Christian themes in there? Because he said they looked cool on screen.
Mm-hmm.
That's verbatim. There was no ulterior motive. He just thought it would be cool in the show. But yet, literary masterpiece that should be hailed and chiseled into rock, thrown on the mountains of the greatest thing ever made. Yeah, I just thought it'd be cool. You say that now? You're a fucking hack. You're lazy. You should be shot. Your children should be burned. Why can we not just have cool things anymore?
It was a simpler time, Brock.
Drives me fucking nuts.
You know,
It was a simpler time.
You know what? I'm just imagining that this is like a Ken Burns stock with like Kiona. It was a simpler time.
It was. And you want to know what happens? We also get it now where people were like, they used to just make things when they were cool. Yeah, because you used to not bitch about every single little thing because you can't be happy.
Because we didn't have social media.
God.
Yep.
Oh.
We had to wait every single month to get our news 3.5 months behind itself with video game magazines and anime magazines
I used
back
to have
then.
to wait to make up rumors about video games on the playground and hope someone from another fucking state could corroborate it with me.
You know, the E3 roundups, when those happened? They didn't happen in June. They happened in August, baby.
Yeah. Believe it or not, there was a time where everyone that is a part of this podcast lived when the at-home internet didn't exist.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was fucking
Remember that.
wonderful. Anyway, so there are some, honest to God, let's talk about positives before we get to overall negatives.
Sure.
Positives. Holy mother of God, and I am so happy. Like, my favorite version of what I'm just going to talk about is in Godzilla vs. Kong.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times when people do CG, they do it at night because it is easier to hide bad CG.
Imperfections.
My favorite version of saying, no, fuck you, this looks good and we're going to show you, is during the second fight of Kong Godzilla. They're about to square off. No, it was in the third fight when they're going to fight Mechagodzilla. Right when they're about to square off, the sun rises and clears up, putting tons of rays and getting rid of all of the dark that would have hid any imperfections. And you watch Kong Godzilla and Mechagodzilla beat the fuck out of each other in some of the most glorious CG I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was
On
pretty
to
epic.
that, I am not talking about the green screens, because oh boy did those look bad. I am talking about the physical, actual body of the Mind Flayer in action. That thing was immaculate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it looked
Holy
really good.
Shit. That thing was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie Campbell Bower needs to get into movies now.
Oh, he's good.
He had been I think I said this last week. I had a crush on him when I was a teenager because he was in the Sweeney Todd movie.
He needs to be doing everything because my
Really?
god, that guy's good.
Yeah, and the voice that he's doing,
It's
that's like mostly him. With
Yeah,
just
that's
a
mostly
little
him
bit
with
of
just like
moderation.
with a little bit of a reverb like effect, but it's not really like pitched down. That's just
no.
he's using his death growl.
That's what I saw in an interview.
Mhm.
Where, like, yeah, they hired me just to be Henry, and then also they got and then they found out I could do that with my voice. Wait, what? It's like, yeah, I could just do the other part.
Yeah. Yeah, he did really, really well.
He did really well.
I greatly enjoyed him.
And a big plus. This is something we need to do more often. Are you ready, kids, and everyone who writes movies now? He was just evil.
Yeah.
They were gonna.
Oh my
2
God.
Seconds. 2 seconds. I thought they were gonna redeem him, and then they.
I
Went,
know. I
"No."
thought
No,
they were
like,
going to do
they
a
were doing the
redemption thing.
No, they're doing the Chainsaw Man. Like, oh my god, he's just like me, for real, for real. If you've
And then he
seen
went, no, humans are garbage. I want to kill all of them.
You know, the only thing is, this is like a positive. This is like a critique at the same time. So I've heard like mixed things to decent things about the Stranger Things play on Broadway, but like apparently that's like required reading for the season because so much of like Henry's backstory is included.
It is.
They
About,
did
like,
one
his dad
scene.
skinned animals, and like they blamed all these crimes on his dad and not him, and
I kind of wish that they had filmed, like, adapted more of the scenes. They did do, like, one of the scenes in there, but I feel like this season would have been more cohesive if they did it. Like, I love the scenes where, you know, we saw, you know, baby Joyce. Like, I wish we saw more of the high school stuff.
Oh, same.
you find out in that
Yeah,
play
that would have been
Hopper
interesting.
and Joyce knew Creel in high school.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
And they try to, like, help him. Like, I'm like, that would have made, like, the which, by the way, this is, like, the Joyce scene. That was so fucking earned. But if we had more
Mhm.
scenes of him, it would have been, like, a 10 out of 10 to a 15 out of 10.
So here's the thing that kind of confuses me
Agreed.
why we couldn't get like a pro shot before season 5 because
Because it's still on Broadway and it's still making money.
oh, okay. That's why, but like it opened on Broadway like at the end of March. So if you wanted to see it, you can still see it.
No, they're doing 8 shows a week, baby.
Yona, what are some big things that you liked?
I thought, of course, I'm going to say all the performances across the board were really, really good. Holly is a great little actress. Holy shit.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
she nailed
she is
it.
amazing.
She was great. And of course, seeing Sadie Sink return as Max, that was really cool. I always love her performances. I think she's very, very talented and gifted. Jamie Campbell Bower, as you say, he was fantastic. Loved him. Yeah, I mean, and obviously, you know, all of the adults in the cast, everybody who played like Steve and Nancy and everybody, they were all really good.
And
Maya
shout
Hawke
out to
was
Karen
great.
Wheeler.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. She was fantastic too.
Oh, yeah.
I like. So. Yeah, I mean, I think that overall it was very good, or at least it was good to very good. I will say that it like wasn't disappointing to me. I'm not the hugest Stranger Things fan, so I think that going in with just moderate expectations kind of helped out with that too.
Yeah, kind of low key.
I wasn't like
same for me.
huge into it. You know, in the previous seasons, I thought it was good. I thought it was a well-made show. And I certainly, you know, I didn't like hate it or anything like that. I just thought it was good.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, fine, let's do season 5. And I watched the season 4 finale right before, you know, going into season 5 and everything. And of course, Eddie, by the way, you know, big ups to Eddie. But you know, it's like, yeah, I think for the most part it was good. And like you said, the big showdown with the Mind Flayer was really cool. Vecna's, you know, the effects for Vecna were really good too. I like the fact that he kind of had a kind of a more armored up sort of look in this
You know what?
season.
It's crazy. Like, so much of that is practical.
Yeah.
Like, he's in
yeah,
that's
this
crazy.
suit. Yeah, like, the only thing that they really add in CG are, like, the vines.
Yeah, yeah. I thought, like, some of the religious illusions were in there, and I could see that completely. Like, as soon as they said, "Oh, he has 12 kids," I was like, heard that before. Yeah, I mean, it's like overall good. I do have some criticisms, and I've already voiced some of them, but like, and seeing Linda Hamilton in anything is great, but like, I wish they had given her more. I wish that the story had taken a little more substantial turns with regard to Vecna's plans, his actual plans. But, yeah, I mean, I don't want to get too negative right now because we are focusing on the positive. So, yeah, I mean, all the performances across the board were fantastic. I love Maya Hawke as Robin as the DJ was really cool.
Yeah.
I liked her little code phrase sort of thing, and everybody was kind of getting impatient with her.
Yes.
Yeah. Overall, I had a good time with it. I was entertained, but like I do understand people's complaints. So
the kid that I got the most out of one scene, like obviously Sadie was very good, but that scene where Gaten is like begging Steve to not kill himself on that ladder.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit. Damn, that kid's got an acting career ahead of him.
No, I've seen him on Broadway. Like, he's great.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh.
Wow.
Insane. Absolutely insane that kid is.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, Joyce being like, and I actually saw people complain that Joyce was the one that got the final hit on him and not Ellen. Like, this entire show was sold on Winona Ryder having a giant project.
And her screaming, Will!
And one thing I will respect from them, they've had swearing through the plenty of their show, but the fact that they saved that fuck for Winona before she...
Oh no, like, that was her. She was like, that is my fuck! Stay away!
I'm literally... like, Joyce hasn't done anything, and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, Joyce is finally gonna be able to do something with that axe. And I'm like, I'm seeing her, like, shuffle on her shoulder, and I'm in my living room screaming, Halloween that fucker! Do it now! Finally, chops it. Oh, it was so good. Oh.
So good.
Yeah, like, after everything that her character has been through since the literal beginning, it makes sense that she gets the final blow.
Yes. Now, there are some minor criticism things that I want to at least, like, we're going to get into before we do outright negatives. I kind of want to talk about, like, something that Bree brought up, because there's difference between... People don't know what the fucking word plot hole means anymore. Like, they just don't. Plot hole means I didn't like the decision you made.
I blame CinemaSins for that.
CinemaSins. A giant part of it. But also is, people like to bitch.
Yeah.
Well, they did that just period. But people like to bitch if you hand them a manual during a scene saying, this is the explanation for everything that happened in this scene. Here's all the exposition so you don't get confused. They're like, I'm not a fucking child. But then if you don't explain everything that happens in a scene and there's some minor detail left that the human brain could have figured out if you weren't a fucking moron, then they go, this writing's terrible. Oh my god, that's a plot hole. They just broke up. Like, one of them, Nancy, or, Robin and...
Vicky?
Vicky.
They're like, why wasn't Vicky there at the end? Maya Hawke literally says, even with, and I can't remember the exact line, but it's something to the degree of, even if overbearing significant others try and get in the way. It's right there! They didn't have to say they broke up, she just said it in a better, well-written way! And then, like, now there's different versions of that, if we're gonna get into negatives, where they should have explained some things. How in the fuck did the military just let them go? Now, I get that, hey, they just ruined every single plan they had their big old piggy bank of Henry's blood just died.
Yep.
So they're going to say to the degree that we could take all you kids hostage, but then we wouldn't have to come up with a good reason, whatever. The only other one that I'm going to try and explain away, that because people literally just didn't watch the show in certain aspects, like a lot. Okay, so you can literally see 11 in the scenes if you watch it, walk past everyone and walk away, if you look at the snapped shots of stuff. But the big one where everyone bitches about it is that Kali couldn't have casted that illusion because when they destroyed the dark matter, the lab exploded. The lab didn't explode.
No,
Dark
that was
matter
an.
did.
It also.
Mhm.
The wave crashed out, and the last thing it would have hit was the lab because the lab was in the middle, and in an implosion, it goes from the outside in.
And also, half of that was probably an illusion anyway.
That's what's like. That's a part of the like. We will talk about conformity gate afterwards. The other little minor one, and this is just me whatevering. They bring up earlier that in earlier seasons that the Mind Flayer likes it cold. Can anyone tell me when they ever mentioned the temperature of where they were in the abyss? And also not mention that deserts can be some of the coldest places on planet Earth. But
Yeah.
Now that you mention it.
But also,
Sure.
just going to be that guy. Have any of us here done drugs? Not hating, don't care. Just
No.
saying.
I have not.
Just mostly get sloppy drunk, but.
If you lived in and this is me, a kid that has grown up and lived his entire life in Wisconsin. You'd think I'd be used to the cold and love the cold all the time. I'm used to the cold. I don't love the cold. Do you think that maybe when the Mind Flayer controls someone, there's a possibility that he liked the fact that he got to experience what cold was and liked to have that person be cold? Because he lives in a fucking desert? Getting that hit of what cold feels like every now and then? Just maybe? Yeah. Anyway, what did you guys not like?
Oh boy.
I think you guys covered pretty much all of like the major negatives. The only thing I can think of is kind of going back to what Bree said earlier. For the final battle, is it just me, or does it seem a bit too, I want to say I don't really want to say anticlimactic, but where are the Demigorgons? Like, why not go a little more all out with the final battle?
Here's
Oh.
one thing that is really dumb that could have explained this better. Do you guys remember this fight in the Starcourt Mall?
Yeah.
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 Remember what happened to every single one of the Demigormons and Demidogs that happened with the fight in Starcourt Mall?
Oh yeah, didn't they all like die?
No, they all conformed to make the body of the Mind Flayer.
Oh, that's right.
But I'm like, they could have just had one shot of it and just been like.
That's what I was just gonna say. Matt Duffer could have just went, they're all in the body of that new Mind Flayer. Because they've literally done that before. And that's
Right.
what I honestly thought was going to be what it was. And I just accepted that because they literally did it in a previous season. But then Matt Duffer went, well, they weren't really expecting a direct surprise attack, so the dogs are somewhere, they just aren't there.
Okay.
Oh, you know what, Brock? Can you just show the screenshot? Because I saved it for you. Because sharing is caring.
Oh yeah, that's right. They are in the dock.
I don't know how this is going to show up in the doc here, but I can read it. I don't know how well this is going to show up. Fair enough. Another question that I had, or other people have been asking, they get to the abyss, where are all the creatures, where are all the Demigorgons, the Demidogs, the bats, are they hiding? Mainly, it's just Vecna not expecting a sneak attack on his home turf. Never in a million years would you imagine that. There's somewhere And obviously, we discussed having a demo battle mid Mind Flayer battle. But we felt it was just more to why do we need more demos when the Mind Flayer is this giant thing that can attack them? Which that is not actually a horrible thing to say, but you should have came up with a reason why they weren't there. He doesn't need this little ant army to attack. He's going to take care of them himself. It's a giant, desolate planet. If you recall, you see Henry wandering the planet back in Season 4, and at some point in his journey, you see a demo in the far distance, and it's not like they're hanging around in little huts. It's not like there's a giant civilization of demos up there. There are no cantina bar for the demos.
That was still a funny little aside.
Which I do get that, and to a degree, if you have the giant thing, the Mind Flayer is going to be like, no, I'm finally able to do whatever. I can do it for myself.
All right.
But you should do something. To
Yeah,
be
like it was too easy to get to them. Like they should have had at least a few demos like after them, and then they just like flamethrower them and just continue on their little adventure.
The only reason I say for that, and again, this is me saying I think it would have just worked best if they think it would have been all in the body, is, in my opinion, and this is me as what little writing that I have done, trying to say that if they would have started killing Demodogs, he would have known they were in there. But again, you could have came up with a reason for why they weren't there to get around that thing.
God, you know what would have been cool? I mean, Brock, you know this. You know, the final battle of Attack on Titan. Yes. Like, he should have just had, like, the demos and stuff, like, coming out from, like, inside him. That would have been, like, nuts.
I was shocked you mentioned Attack on Titan. You weren't one of the people that said that they stole the finale of Attack on Titan?
Are you serious?
Wait.
Think about it.
Because they had a giant?
No. How does Mikasa stop the rumbling?
You can't.
When I tell you I've seen everything to bitch about this show online, I've seen everything.
Oh my god, that's like the most logical thing to make, and it was like a symbolic thing. It's not like he was gonna get back up. Eren was still actively wrecking shit.
Yeah, but no, she jumped into it and cut him off, and that they just stole the ending of Attack on Titan wholesale because it was exactly the same thing. Something.
And that's not like that hasn't happened in like any other story where the bad guy's head got cut off. No, that's a clearly original idea that Attack on Titan came with.
No, the more of was the fact that she opened up the thing, jumped in, and cut his head off. Which, by that same logic, I could then say Attack on Titan stole the ending from the Horizon Forbidden West DLC. Which,
oh jeez,
I think it's not.
And children, this is why all stories are derivative. At some point, you literally cannot prevent it. And if you say something's copying, like it's usually coincidental, and yeah, you're an idiot.
Yes. All right.
Yep.
What happened with the military blowing up after the military blowing up the Upside Down? Raw Stuffer. In that 18-month gap, I suppose there's not much else to do. You can't explore the other dimensions. There's no 11 to chase after because she's gone. So my guess is that they just sort of dismantled operations and left town.
And here's like my thing.
Genuinely biggest gripe. Like, you should have shown something.
At least at them leaving, like, the ending of like Avatar, like the first one where they're all leaving. And here's like the thing as a writer, like this is like the bad thing, like, and you should never put yourself in the position. You should be able to answer pretty much every question like with confidence, like basic questions like that. Like if it's like a weird like lore thing, I get it, but like basic explanations of things happen in the story, if you can't answer like a simple question like that, I don't know.
Yeah. And there is some things with, like, simple questions, and there's just other things where it's, like, you expect it. It's, so I know we brought this up, and we wanted to talk about it a little bit. Like, how much is it actually owed from a writer to tell you 1,000% of everything that happened in every scene every time and not leave any little bit? I'm not saying that they did this, and they made it so that there wasn't very obvious questions that need to get answered, but, like, how required is it of a creative to not need to depend on a brain cell of someone watching the show?
I think
this finale was not perfect. I'm not saying they tied everything up. I'm just saying in a generality of shows, period.
I mean, like, I don't think it's a shit show that people make out. Like, there's a lot of stuff that was good. Like, the highs are highs, but it's like, I had, like, lowered expectations because I was like, I mean, Brock, like, when we chatted, like, during our game stream, or was it stream last week, like, literally, like, 90% of the finale, like, we pretty much set out verbatim, like, this was what was gonna go down. Like, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure this out. If you've watched enough shit, you knew.
Yeah, 100%.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
absolutely.
makes sense.
Yeah, it's like, it knew for the fact that when he got up in there was going to be some form of bigger thing because you haven't seen the Mind Flayer in forever. You knew Vecna was going to get what he wanted partially in the end, and you knew that they probably weren't going to have an ending where Vecna just, destroys all the kids and then, just happily masturbates as he runs around his new abyss. It's like, just probably wasn't what was going to happen. Like, I mean, it's just... Now, there are other things where, again, people just don't watch. Like, okay, this is a legit complaint I was going to have, but it didn't happen. Do you remember in part 2, or volume 2, where Sadie was legitimately struggling to fit through that hole in the rocks?
Oh, yeah?
And then at the end, they're being chased by Vecna, and this is not me fat shaming. I am not. They didn't get rid of any more rocks. Derek is slightly bigger than Sadie.
Just slightly.
And then everyone's like, it makes no sense. How'd he get through the hole? How'd they break out? Because they took the tubes out. They woke them up naturally. They didn't escape through a dream portal. You showed them doing that in the show with Holly.
And
Like,
also,
they
Derek's a
dragged them out.
child. Like, a
Yeah.
small child. Like, Derek, I think technically they're supposed to be, like, 9.
I think.
Technically, I guess.
And technically Caleb's supposed to be 16, but he looks like he's 25. Because he basically is. But, yeah, there's just certain things where it's like, hey, not everything has to be explained, but yes, big things should. Like the big one, another one that just never gets explained. I'm not mad that Max's character didn't say, hey, Hop, you're not dead. Because she was just in a magical coma she got brought out of from the Mind Flayer. So maybe they're like, they found you too. Whatever. The bigger one, Hopper was declared dead. And then just showed back up and got the chief of police job. Just like...
Yeah, like, that is a big, like, continuity. What the fuck?
That was one where I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then someone showed up and I was like, what, rewatch it with me? Like, isn't Hopper dead technically? And I'm like, yeah, I think he is. Yeah, it's one of those where it's like, and now here's the last thing that I'm going to bring up before I might actually have a fucking aneurysm on stream. So, am I saying that the Duffer Brothers are being serious when they had everything planned out? No. But I'm going to say, could they have had a generalized plan of, like, we're going to have a couple of seasons that introduce a main big bad villain later on that will finish out the show? They could have predicted that, yes. Did they say that they planned it well? No.
To be honest, I don't doubt that they had, like, at least a general
rough 5-point outline that got 900 extra points added in between.
Yeah. Like, I don't doubt that they had at least, like, a vague general outline for the series. But you can tell that certain characters are there because people just love them in the first season. Like,
Yeah.
I love Joe Keery and I love Steve Harrington, but
But
he's gone.
Also,
Okay, he said he'll be BRB.
They were gonna fake out with someone. The only person that died in the entire show, in my opinion, because I don't think she did, with Elle, is Kali. The one they brought back from season 2. I'm not saying this needed to be Game of Thrones, but for the love of everything, you could have had Murray die. You coulda had
There were
anybody.
there were plenty of times where I thought that he was gonna kick
Yeah.
it.
I'm being 100% serious here. Did anyone else, when he grabbed the grenade, thought he was going to jump at the helicopter?
Yeah. Or
I
it would have
was
blown
thinking
up
it.
too early.
Yeah, I was like, he's sacrificing his life to make sure he doesn't, like, ting the thing off the propeller. I'm like, sick. And then he did. I'm like, oh. And then they got rid of the mind flare, and then they're like, what do you say, old man? Hit the music, let's leave. Y'all just fought Godzilla and nothing happened? Like, nothing? Like, I'm being honest here. Like, legitimately, correct me if I'm wrong. Outside of a brand new character introduced in each season that wasn't a part of the main cast that carried over from the previous season, has a main cast member died at all?
No, I
I
don't think so. I
no.
mean, maybe you could say
Bob?
Billy, because Billy is technically from season 2.
Oh, yeah, he did carry over. Technically, okay, so we'll give them that. But you had Bob introduced, killed off. Billy introduced, lasted another season, killed off. Kali was introduced for an episode, brought back for another 3, killed off. No one died. Well, died in season. Someone died. Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, introduced in season 4 and killed off in a glorious way, but
In a glorious way. Also, everyone who's like, I don't understand what Dustin did. He showed no animosity towards the principal. He literally did what Eddie said he was going to do. Verbatim. Even had a
Yes.
Hellfire Club t-shirt on. Watch
Like-
the show!
everything that Dustin did in that finale is it was literally a tribute to Eddie.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have any more legitimate complaints before I crash out?
I think we should just cut to the ending because I think this is one where Brock and I might actually disagree.
And then,
Ooh.
by the way, you texted me. You were like, they don't have the balls. I'm like, wait, just wait.
They
And then
still
you
didn't, in my opinion.
No, and then you texted, are you fucking kidding me?
I've actually gone back and forth on this. So here's the question for the people listening. Do you think Elle died, or do you think she did what she and Mike talked about, is like go to the place with the 3 waterfalls and
Okay, so let's just talk about Schrodinger's 11 for a second. I knew they were gonna do
Well
something. I didn't anticipate they were gonna do the choose your own adventure ending, which I'm sorry. Like I get it, like thematically, like what you're going for, but considering that they haven't really killed off any major characters, this was like the most non-committal character. I was like a little bit mean about it on Blue Sky. Like I called it the missionary of endings. Like you'll get some satisfaction, but otherwise it's kind of vanilla and not exciting. But anyway, just let Brock mentally recover a sec. Like, here's the thing. Like, either way for me, it doesn't work. Okay, because if you go with the thing like, okay, she's alive, right? All right. So they show her going through the back thing instead of like escaping through like some sort of like different way in like the upside down. So you see her, she is physically in Hawkins. How the fuck does she get out of Hawkins? Like, does Murray know? Because Murray realistically is the only dude who could get her out of the country. Because clearly she's in Iceland in the finale. So, like, if Murray knew, would he, like, not tell Hop? Like,
What
that's...
I honestly think happened is that she just hid until she could leave. Honestly.
Right, but how'd you get out of the country? She doesn't have a social security number, because technically she doesn't exist legally to the United States government. She's dead.
She doesn't, but I'm gonna be honest. We've seen people in real life just stow away on a cargo ship.
True.
Right, but I'm like, okay, just I know this is a pre 9/11 world and it's a suspension of disbelief, and maybe that's the effect of like, oh, Mike, that's what Mike's cope is. But here's the thing: the stuff of like Kali and like the speech, like they're clearly framing it that, hey, like Kali has a change of heart. She's like, I'm gonna get you out of this, girl. Like my life is shit. It's over. But hey, make a go of it. Kumbaya, motherfucker. But but here's like the other thing. So if Mike's having this vision, he specifically said he couldn't figure out a place of like 3 waterfalls. So how does he have a clear visualization of like Iceland? Like either way, neither of these alive or dead options quite 100% work.
There's a thing. I don't think that he said the idea of 3 waterfalls was dumb, and I think that wasn't his vision. That was the Duffers having to show us what he thinks happened.
But how would... No, I get that, like, on a surface level, but I'm like, on a technical world building level, like, how would he have a specific vision of a certain region in Iceland?
Because he's a nerd that makes up maps for D&D?
Then he would have known there was a place for 3 waterfalls!
Yes, but just because he hasn't been to Iceland, he could come up with one in his head. That's not that hard to come up with in an imagination. And he doesn't know it's Iceland, he just came up with one.
I'm just saying, like, either way, it doesn't quite work, because either option, you have to do some, like, mental gymnastics.
I don't know. It's just, to me, that she hid, she left, and then we got told visually, instead of just Mike saying, imagine in my head, this is what happened.
Yeah, I mean, more than likely, I think she's alive. Because they'll leave her, like, maybe. Because you're telling me in 10 years they're not going to do Stranger Things forever?
Well, they already have a spin-off going, so... It was Stranger Things forever already. But, it's... Okay, so there's that, and it's either way you want to go, and it was left open. The only thing that they gave on... whatever you want to say actually happened is the Duffer Brothers said verbatim, and again, because they're really smart for saying things when they shouldn't, is that Millie Bobby Brown is the only person besides them that knows if Elle really made it.
Yeah, that's I can see why that's a frustrating non-answer for people who
just don't say anything.
Yeah, like this is one of those where if you're gonna do an ambiguous ending, like, just
Like,
let it be ambiguous. Don't
like, commit to it.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole thing, is like, so much of like this final season just felt so non-committal that they were like apprehensive about the choices that they made. I'm like, the concept of ambiguous ending, like the concept itself, I don't hate. Like, I feel like for 11, yeah, for her character, that makes sense. But on the flip side, like, I'm not saying that they should have done this, but I have a little bit of a bone to pick. So, the revelation that, like, Henry's powers, like, come from, like, the rock, and that he wasn't born with them and he had a connection to the Mind Flayer. Theoretically, once Henry and the Mind Flayer died, shouldn't 11 have no powers?
The thing that from what I understood, because there was stuff from the stage play and other things with that rock that go in, is that he didn't directly get that power from the Mind Flayer. He got initial powers from that rock that allowed him to find the Mind Flayer. That was my understanding from what I saw.
Right.
The thing that is weird, though, on top of that, when he died, you guys remember in season 2 when they were torching the tunnels and Will started freaking out because he was part of a hive mind.
Oh, yep.
Do you remember in this entire fight where they're bombing that thing with grenades and Will's just hanging out?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah, I kind of remember that.
Yeah, but I guess it was implied is. But then he went back into the hive mind. See, this is what I mean. It, like, shit makes no sense. Like, it's like world building when we feel like it. But yeah, it's like I get what they're doing. Their ending, but realistically, they could have just had it where Elle doesn't have any powers anymore because basically her power source is gone because she's like kind of like borrowing powers again to kind of use like Attack on Titan. Like once the founding Titan's gone, they're no longer Titan shifters. Elle and Mike could have just been like, well, hey, I don't have any powers anymore. You can't be with that. I get why they didn't want to do it, but it just, I don't know, it just felt weird to me.
So are you saying that, well, obviously the Duffers needed to commit to some ending, so either they don't kill her off and just remove her powers, or they actually commit to this is what happened to her?
Yeah, I mean, it's part of it. I feel like if they were gonna do the ambiguous ending, then why even have like the whole like Kali subplot? Like, why even like put that out there? Just have it be like Elle sacrificed herself or she's free. Like they made it more complicated than it had to be.
I guess I can see where you're coming from. And why Brock just did not like the Kali character.
Well, I didn't like the Kali character, but also there really wouldn't have been a way she could have gotten away from anyone in plain sight, hidden with all the military tech, unless they had a side plot like Kali. That was the only way she actually could have gotten away from anybody without anyone noticing, because they would need someone that could do illusions without coming up with a brand new character that has illusion power.
Right.
So, I mean, I get it to a degree of why they did it. There's a lot of ifs and buts and stuff that can happen, but it's... They thought that was the easiest way to get her away, and they tried to tie up loose ends and everything, and it's one of those things where shit happens. I don't know a better way to describe it. I really don't.
I think it just needed to cook in another couple drafts. It's not gonna lie.
Couple other drafts, they would have been having their grandchildren by the time this fucking show would have been done.
True.
And I did. Now, I will give some other things where, like, people gave shit about how long this thing took. Now, I will say I was kind of wrong, and I will give a lot of people crap that do give a little bit of what happened with this show. When did the show start?
It started in
July 2016.
Yeah.
2016. They were averaging a season being done every 2 years.
Yeah,
Ish.
like they had like 3 seasons by 2019.
Do we forget a giant clusterfuck that happened that would have prevented them from doing anything for roughly a year and a half?
Yeah, so between season 3 and 4 was the pandemic. And
then they also couldn't get onto any lots or anything because of a lot of state laws that were still in effect for a good chunk after that.
Mm-hmm.
So they realistically got fucked over for like 2 years.
And then the actors' writers' strike happens.
That was going to be the next thing I was going to bring up.
Yeah, so like between this like 2 seasons, like they're a little bit older by season 3, but they could still pass for high schoolers.
Mm-hmm.
Then puberty hit them hard and fast.
Puberty hit a lot of them like a fucking truck. Alright, I'm going to say one last thing because we're going to get on for a while here. Everyone, we just decided that a lot of us that this ending is not perfect. But you know what we all did? We accepted that it was the ending.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know what we didn't do? Huff a whole lot of paint. Just get the most zazzed up you've ever been in your life. and come up with some of the most dumb bullshit I have heard in my entire fucking life.
What are you talking about? You're talking about you didn't do a bunch of poppers and whippets and be like, no, you don't understand.
No.
Mike and Will, they can still happen. The ship's still there. It's not the final episode. It can still happen, guys. Believe me. My dad works for Nintendo.
No.
Oh
I
my
normally do
God.
before I go to bed. But anyway, so they come up with this thing called conformity gate. Hey guys, can we just do a thing as a community? Give up
Conformity
the
game?
word gate.
Oh God.
Give up the word gate. For the love of God, stop it.
Yeah,
It
stop.
doesn't work. You're not cool. That term has been around for 20 years longer than you've been alive. Stop it. Stop it.
Gate.
So,
Conformity gate?
conformity gate. Oh, Kiona, don't worry. This
Jesus.
all makes so much sense, and you're going to see, my friend. Let me enlighten you.
Please,
So-
please do, please do.
So, one of the most talked about moments is the graduation scene. Fans
Uh-huh.
noticed that many of the characters appear to be standing with their hands positioned in front of them. You know who else does that?
Graduates?
Yes, Kiona, Vecna does. So, anyway, that means that all of them in that are unwillingly in a trance and a fake ending made up by Vecna. Because God knows that's not what people just sometimes do when they sit in a chair. But wait, there's more. Also, did you notice that the bright orange graduation robes they had, viewers are pointing out that the orange has been repeatedly associated with danger and warning signs throughout the series, meaning this is another thing to show that if they had the actual colors of Hawkins, the green would mean they were actually graduating, but no, they're under the control of Vecna. But wait, Kiona, you say it can't get any dumber than that, and I say, oh yes sir, it can. So, there was a number of them that had a swoop in their hair. Kiona,
Mhm.
you know who else has a swoop in their hair?
Vecna
you would
sometimes.
Be correct. You would be correct. And also, that means they're all conforming to Vecna's likeness. That means that they're all in an illusion, and this is a fake happy ending. But wait,
Okay.
there's more. Did you know in this same exact scene, there are 4 different characters where there's a character over them, behind them, that's wearing glasses?
Good God.
Do you know who sometimes wears glasses?
The Pope.
But also Henry Krill. Let me cook here.
Oh.
We're getting to the good stuff.
Okay. I
we're
I
getting
thought
to
we
the-
were talking about the Pope.
Oh no, trust me, he could be involved. So
I'm sure he is.
there's also, you
He's
know
from
how
Chicago.
Hop and Joyce, when they get married, did you know that in that scene, considering the camera's here, and Joyce and Hopper are positioned here, keep that in mind. That has nothing to do with where the characters are looking. Did you know that in that scene, when everyone turns around and looks directly at the camera, that they're staring at the viewer to let them know that this is a fake scene and they're all a part of a big charade? But wait! There's more!
That's
Did
very
you
Grant
know-
Morrison.
Did you know that in that scene, that when Hopper proposes to Joyce with a completely different ring than the one that Jonathan decomposes to Nancy with, that somehow it has to be fake, because how did Hopper get the same ring that Jonathan had when they're not the same ring? Did you know that? Don't you think that means we're getting a second, 9th episode? Because
Absolutely.
it is.
I-
And did you know?
I can see
That-
how the dots connect.
Oh, the dots connect. Oh, trust me. There's more. And also, did you know that at the end, the very, very end, that this entire time, they've been spending time and we've been trying to reach Dimension X, Kiona.
Ah,
Follow with me. Don't
Yes.
lose me here.
Dimension
And
X.
then they very carefully have all of these books that they play D&D with placed on a shelf. Did you know if you take the second letter from the first name and then the last 3 letters from the other name, that it spells out X is a lie? Meaning that this is all a conformative image placed upon them in Dimension X, and that they're living a giant lie.
And you know what else? You know what else? Do you know what happened today? We got the X-Men teaser.
We did. You're correct.
Therefore, they are part of the MCU now.
You're cooking. You're cooking. But wait, there's more.
There's more.
Also, fans have latched on to a social media post from the cast with particular use of the song End of the Beginning by Joe, the musical project of Joe Keery. Did you know he plays Steve Harrington? Also, the track appears in multiple post-promotions of the final scene, and there's one lyric that becomes a central point to this theory. And another version of me, I was in it. Do you know that means that there's actually, they're in Dimension X, and this is a different version of them that is in this made-up fantasy so that they can all be happy. And did you know also that this has to be fake because there's all these fake scenes that they've never shown in any promotional things fucking ever that haven't been shown in the show. So that means these crack-potted, useless, tweaked out, fork-brained, fuck-toothed, dimensional-sucked dumbasses think these imaginary scenes they've seen never have to be in this final episode.
You know, Brock, the entire time, when you said, did you know? I just kept thinking of Mary, did you know? You know, of the song about Jesus, but Vecna, did you know?
And also, wait, there's one last one. Did you know that Mike doesn't end up with Will because it is a torture method of Vecna making Will suffer by not letting him get with the guy he loves? So that means in the real ending we're going to get tomorrow, they're going to just fuck each other raw for like a half an hour.
Oh, what I've always wanted to see.
Which, mind you, in the canon of the show, you're talking about like 2 16-year-old boys.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. And also, but wait, there's more.
I'm just hearing the X-Files theme in my head right now.
Did you know that they make an 18 months time skip? Because that number is alluding to making you think that they're 18 when they really aren't. And also, you believed me just now that was as bad as these? Because I just fucking made that up on the spot.
But you know what, though? But you know what, though? You know what? Also, 1 + 8 = 9. Therefore,
and +2 = 11!
Secret 9th episode! Actually, 11 episodes! We have 3 more coming out. They're going to come out tomorrow.
Do you know the worst part? There's a 5-minute video that I put into our chat, and I maybe told you a fucking fourth of everything that's in it.
I believe that.
I wanted to fucking just grind a chihuahua into raw bits and feed it into a child. I was so pissed. Like, why? If you just admit you don't like the ending, and it's fine.
It's
just
like,
don't like it.
Like, it's okay to admit that not everything's an 11 out of 10.
You know,
I
it's
feel
funny
like
you should say that.
I feel like 11 out of 10.
It's really funny that you should say that.
11 minus 10 is 1. 11 minus 10 is 1. What is Vecna?
This is some Grant Morrison 52 shit right here. Let me tell you. And also, 52 is alive, don't you know? And also, I now know who the real shooter was on the grassy knoll. And I
Right.
also, yes, and I also now understand the entirety of the X-Files, the overarching mythology of that whole entire show, and I'm including seasons 10 and 11, which sucked ass, but you know what? They were the most true of all the seasons. And I'm also I also think that the indoctrination theory is in fact really was true for Mass Effect 3. Yes, it is the truth. Yeah, every conspiracy theory is true.
Great.
Pizzagate, true.
Bree,
Everything.
I'm not saying that I won't pay you, because I will. If you can edit that whole conformity gate speech that I just gave
Please do.
nicely, I will pay you.
Yeah, okay. I might have to take you up.
I know it's long, but I will pay you.
It's fantastic, man.
No, I might take you up on that, but you know what I love, and this is probably like I'm not that old, but like I'm old enough to understand the reference. I love how like this entire conspiracy is basically
My back hurt.
no, but I love how this entire bullshit is basically like who shot JR.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's just I've never seen harder copium in my entire life.
like
To
if
where
this was
you
back in
can't
the day,
see the
this seems
show.
like a 4chan prank. Like,
Yeah.
but this is like they're fully serious. Like this, like reads as a 4chan shit post
you-
from like back in the
do-
day.
Do you know what this has made me realize? Do you know what it's made me realize, honestly?
What does it make you realize, Kiona?
The Halo TV series was actually a work of art.
Oh no!
Lord.
You see what you've done with us, conformity gators?
Helmetless Master Chief. Everything
No,
I
but-
could have wanted in my life.
No,
Really?
but seriously,
Master
like
Cheeks.
going-
The best Master
Cheeks.
Chief ever.
No, Master Cheeks is behind everything. But seriously,
Absolutely.
comparing them to the Swifties seem more grounded to reality than this.
I've never witnessed this in my entire life, where they just didn't like an ending, so they crashed out so hard they actually thought the Duffer Brothers had a secret episode planned.
Well, if there is a secret episode, Netflix would be like, "Hey, where's that $50 million, guys?"
Yeah, and now they're like, if you type in secret ending, you get Stranger Things. Yeah, there's a lot of things if you type it in, you get stuff on Netflix. Anyway, that
Did you
actually
know-
made my spine hurt. I'm not joking. I actually have spinal pain.
The aforementioned
bad.
pontiff, is from Chicago. You know who else is from Chicago?
Joe Curie.
Yeah. And also CM Punk. Therefore, CM Punk is the Pope, secretly.
He is. He's the cookie.
I believe it.
All right, we have a couple more things to go through here. That lasted a
I
long
believe
time.
it.
All right. So about the Duffer Brothers, one last thing with them. The Duffer Brothers confirm that the mysterious rock that took over Henry Krill is important to the Stranger Things spinoff. The spinoff is going to delve into that, explain that. You're going to understand it. But it's completely different mythology. It's not a deep exploration of the Mind Flayer or anything like that. It's fresh and new. It doesn't involve the Upside Down. It has completely different story, location, characters, and actors. It's set in a different decade. The Duffer Brothers are heavily involved, but won't be the showrunners. And a scene in the series in the finale hints at where it will be. I wonder if it's going to be the fact that Joyce and Hopper are moving to Montauk.
You know what? That's too obvious. I don't think so because Montauk originally was the pilot for
Yeah, I
Stranger
know.
Things.
I know.
I
thought that they might be finally like, we could do our actual image.
No, I'm telling you, like most because if you look at the Stranger Things play, it's Philadelphia. It's Philly in the 90s. Because why the fuck would Robin, like, just name drop Philadelphia, like, out of fucking nowhere? And the fact that if you look at Brenner's, like, backstory of his, father, of the Philadelphia, experiment, which was a big inspiration for Stranger Things, it's, like, something that happened in the Philadelphia shipyard, like, allegedly in like 1943.
Yeah, could be. It's we'll see. The thing
And
that-
also, the thing is too is because they want to make a reference to say West Philadelphia, born and raised.
Of course.
as much, the sad part is that will get me to watch it. I was legitimately raised on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I think every suburban white kid that grew up in like the 80s and 90s was.
My mom. Tie note before we do these last things. So when you got DVDs back in the day of like TV shows, and when it played through, it'd always go kick you back to the main screen and it would play the theme song of whatever the show was.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way my house is set up is all the rooms are down a hallway, and like my room was right across from the bedroom, from the bathroom, and then my mom's room, which is this room now, that's my master bedroom, was at the end. And I always worked late nights and then would go home. And my mom was very nice when I was younger and got me the box set of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It was like one of the coolest things my mom ever got me. And that was back before this stuff was normally really readily available. And I would watch it to go to sleep. So then every morning when my mom would wake up, all she would hear is dun 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 dun. I don't think there's anything in this world that my mom hates short of my birth father than the theme song of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like I think it would actively trigger her like a sleeper agent to kill someone if she heard it again. She heard it so much for so long. She was so happy when I got a TV that had a sleep timer.
Nice.
But all right. So the Demon Slayer series is celebrating its 5th anniversary of Demon Slayer The Mugen Train, which has continued to run daily in Japanese theaters since October 16th, 2020.
Jeez.
That's wild.
Is that a theatrical record? That has to be.
Yeah, daily since October. That's
Of 2020. That's fucking nuts. All right, so Mike, do you want to say the stuff that James Gunn said?
yeah. I'll go through it, just the highlights. So James Gunn was on Variety's Award Circuit podcast. Just kind of giving an update on things. He's working on Man of Tomorrow. He's on set. He's doing all the stuff. And
Stranger
then
Things?
Stranger Things.
Was he talking about Stranger Things? It's another sign.
So he's talking about things like what's going on with Supergirl and talking a little bit about Superman. I'll get to two quotes of his that I think are kind of the most interesting. Like the interviewer asked, "What do you think about prestige versus mainstream filmmaking?" He says, "I don't care about prestige. I mean, sure, would it be cool to be nominated for Best Director or something? Yeah. Would I rather have that than not? But it's not really my concern. Occasionally I have ideas that are more independent movies, but I like making the kind of movies that I make. I like making pop cinema, for lack of a better term. If I can have those things also be something that are emotionally resonant to people or affect people in a deeper, more spiritual way, like a lot of people have told me that Superman did, a lot of people told me that Guardians 3 did, that's fantastic. That's what I would love to be able to do. But I like making the big movies too. There's an artistry to it, the creative flow. But then I also like the part of it that's putting the big puzzle together and creating this machine that works for an audience to elicit a reaction from them. Whether it's emotional, whether it's laughter, whether it's screaming, whether it's whatever it is. That's the fun part of it. And then he's talking about things like, he teases a little bit of Man of Tomorrow. At its core, it's about Clark and Lex. I relate to both of them. I relate to Lex's ambition and obsession, minus the murder. And I relate to Superman's belief in people, his Midwestern values. There's two sides of me. And then he describes his partnership with Peter Safran. Oh, Peter's the best. He does everything I don't do well. He keeps the ship steady, keeps everyone aligned, connects us with Jim Lee on the comic side. and unifies departments that used to operate separately. What we share is a genuine love for these characters. We know what a privilege it is to help shape how people see them now, and that responsibility is something we take seriously. So nothing too earth-shattering in this interview, but it's just kind of cool whenever James Gunn gets to, talk about his process and stuff.
This was a thing that I almost put in social media. It was a mistake, but all right. Makima's voice actress got married. Fans burn merchandise in rage over betrayal. Tomoyori Kusunoki, Japanese voice actress known for roles as Makima in Chainsaw Man and Firefly and Honkai Star Rail, announced her marriage to a non-celebrity partner on the 31st of December 2025, sparking widespread congratulations, but also backlash from fans. The viral incident involves a Japanese fan burning merchandise of Setsuna Yuki, a character Kunosunuki voices in Love Live, citing her secret relationship as a betrayal, echoing toxic parasocial dynamics in media like Oshinoko. Guys, they don't love you. They don't know you exist. They don't. They aren't your friend. They don't know you exist. Stop it. Also, you shouldn't be fantasizing over Makima. She literally sexually abuses a minor.
Mm-hmm.
I know you guys don't. Some of you aren't media literate enough to pick that up in Chainsaw Man, but she does. Ay. Yeah, fun stuff there. All kinds of. All right. One last minor thing here. Microsoft
My God,
CEO,
I almost said something really bad. Continue.
Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella says it's time to stop talking about AI slop and start talking about the theory of the mind that accounts for humans being equipped with these new cognitive amplifier tools.
Beg your pardon?
In other words, please buy into. So, Merriam-Webster's word of the year for 2025 was slop, the catch-all term for machinery-generated crapola, or as Merriam-Webster's more parasocially and politely define it, digital content of low quality that is produced in a usual quantity by means of artificial intelligence. Hard to argue with the pick, as PC gamer Lincoln Carpenter said it was a year full of AI humiliation, and stated that with stupid AI generated Star Wars video that didn't stop the calendar till the calendar ran out. But while slop is not without doubt an apparently defining word of 2025, Microsoft CEO douchebag Nadella says it's time to stop talking about it because we need to move on to bigger and more important things, like how they're going to make it obscenely expensive and resource sucking mistake generator that nobody wants to actually work. We have moved past the initial phase of discovery and are entering in the phase of widespread diffusion, Nadalia wrote in his SN Scratchpad blog via The Verge. We are in the beginning to distinguish between spectacle and substance. We now have a clear sense of where tech is headed, but we're also a harder and more important question is how to shape its impact on the world.
Oh, did you hear the bullshit today that they're rebranding Microsoft 365 to Copilot? Yeah. Like, that's not gonna fucking confuse, like, a bunch of, like, middle-aged office workers.
Nope, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. All right, that's a list we can go through at a different time. There was two other things that we had. One that might take a little bit longer and we can save for next week, because it'll still be roughly in the sphere of things. And it'll be right after the secret episode, so we can still talk about it. Anyway, so New Year's resolutions. I don't think we got to go in any particular order. Let's just go through them and kind of like, I guess we can kind of keep track on each other. Kind of hope that we're keeping up with the things we're trying to accomplish. So for me, I want to check easily another 15 anime off my list. I want to keep streaming regularly. I want to spend less. How do I want to describe this? There will be days where I come home from work and I couldn't tell you what I actively did, but I was alive for the entire time. I want to try and avoid those more often. Like a lot.
Hmm.
There was a
Yeah.
ton of them last year. And I want to actually get back into honest to God writing because there's been a rough down period where
Same.
for like 8 years straight, me and a buddy wrote either fan fiction or an actual story that we're working on to try and get something with, and it just fell off a fucking cliff. And I would really badly want to get back into that better and be more, I want to say, regular with progress, even if it's just minor ideas. I also want to get stinking rich and retire before I turn 35, which is in tomorrow, so I might not accomplish that one. Mike.
Let's see. I guess one of my New Year's resolutions is, finally get my own place, which is happening.
Yes.
Excellent.
More consistency when it comes to podcasting. I want to try to get back on a little bit more of a regular schedule. How I'm going to accomplish that now that I'm becoming a homeowner, I mean,
it's a joy, buddy. It's a joy.
Yep, there's always going to be something. Honestly, really, the thing I want to accomplish in 2026 is I just need this year to be better than the last couple, just in general.
Agree.
Yona?
Well, I kind of alluded to it earlier in the podcast. Definitely want to get back to podcasting, get back to streaming, get healthier. For those who don't know, I've been struggling with a knee injury for a long, long time, and I just had like a mental block that was not enabling me to get better. And then some steps literally happened last year, and continuing on with that. Recently had a little bit of a setback, but we're dealing with it and it's getting better. So that I can, just help out more around the house, help my parents more because they're getting up there, and help my friends more and stuff like that. With Red, with her D&D streams, and still, helping out there, making sure that that she has me there as like a second person to help her out with organizing things. And we have a lot of help, don't get me wrong, it's not just me, but just being able to do that. I want to be able to DM something. That's the cool thing. I want to be like a dungeon master and actually like create a world. Still got that superhero one in my back pocket, but what I'm going to try to do, because it's like a weirdly mechanically oriented game, I'm going to try to transpose it or translate it into D&D mechanics and see if that works. It's possible it might. And so that's something that's a goal of mine for this year. So a lot of big things. I'm sorry I jumped around there a lot, but and getting back to writing definitely is something that I want to do. Coming up with characters has helped, because literally coming up with backstories and stuff has really been very rewarding. Yeah, and then just getting back into podcasting with like Paul doing the Buffy podcast. Hopefully we get back to the Lost one as well. We haven't done that in a long time. But doing that, maybe helping him out on some of the things that he's working on, and I mean, it's just a lot of and just earning money this year would be nice. Earning more money would be nice. So
yes.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Yeah. So got a lot of things to do and a lot of things to work on, but we're moving towards them.
Yeah. I kind of had my 2026 planned out for like at least the last couple months. Mostly it's just to work on my feature screenplay that I'm in the early planning stages of. So that's probably going to be like the next year of my life. Just continue working out and then just working with training my dog. Because I try to give myself like reasonable expectations for like the new year, because then it's like easier for me to keep up with stuff. But my last year for me was like the very definition of a mixed bag. Like far from the worst year of my life. Like I can actually name those 2 years like off the back of my hand, and then, but it wasn't like the best either. And you know what? I'm kind of okay with that. So I think for me, like my resolutions just kind of keep doing what I'm doing.
I get you there, 100%.
Like that. Like that.
Yeah. All right. We do have some other things that we can go through another time because it's nearing 10 o'clock on my end, and we talked for Stranger Things, I think, for a half an hour.
Okay, but I do want to do one last salute out to Stranger Things.
Okay.
Hold on, I think it's the right end. Like it's been a long day for me. I'm sorry, Kate Bush. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's
I didn't realize that's
Oh, that's what that was.
that's how you know it's time to go.
Yes, I have a kazoo. Specifically, like the best $10 kazoo I ever had in my life, and the fact that I've used it multiple times.
What the?
Oh, I'll do it better.
God.
Look, I could actually do it good. Like, oh my god, I did like a really. Oh, I did a kazoo cover for Gravity for like a video I edited a few weeks ago.
Amazing.
Good.
Amazing.
All right, let's get the hell out of here. Mike, where can everybody find you?
You guys can find me on various social media sites at Captain K42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. And you can follow Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Blue Sky at Renegade Pop Culture. You can also find us on YouTube at Renegade Pop Culture or YouTube at Organoid Zero. Also find us on Podchaser. Consider supporting our Patreon at
Pandora.
We're not there yet.
Okay.
Consider supporting our Patreon at patreon.com/Renegade Pop Culture. Listen to all of our podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen, and for some reason, Pandora.
And the
For
banana
some-
meter.
Godforsaken
Meter.
reason.
And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. You can escape, so do we.
Pandora used to be the hit shit, and now it is like 5 miles below the redheaded stepchild. Streaming services. Bree, where can everybody find you?
Again, the age-old question, do you want to find me? Because you're kind of getting, like, a lot of baggage here. It's, like, a lot of super extra. I mean, like, hey, I don't want to kink shame anyone, but if you do want to follow me, you can follow me at crazylemur.bsky.social. I'm also on Instagram at lemurs1. Oh my god, I didn't even tell you, like, my story last week, because I went to, and this is why you should follow me on Instagram, because my stories are amazing when I actually remember to post them. I had a bear hopper on my train. It was a pigeon, and it flew around. I am being like dead ass serious. Wait.
That bear hopper better pay us $3. Damn it, we can't afford it.
I wish it was $3. Well, no, because I actually have it. Like, I am not like shitting at all. Oh my god,
you're not shitting.
no, I am not. I am not. I have the post because we're gonna just leave this like on a high.
Keona still gotta go. So Keona still has to say his stuff. Keona, where can everybody find you?
Alright.
You can find me on Twitter at Neoplasmic24. You can also find me on Instagram and Threads at Neoplasmic81. Also on Blue Sky and Twitch at Neoplasmic. And you can also find me on my friend's, my bestie's stream. It's some bish named Red. That is SOMEBISHNAMED. And also on our Monday streams and our Thursday and Friday streams where we play D&D together as the Disexuals. That is our name. The Disexuals.
That's incredible.
That is a great name, yes.
It's
Our
an
very own Aaron
amazing
Sparrow
name. You
came
should
up with that, I
you should
believe.
trademark that shit.
Should.
I know, right? For
Yeah.
real. We need to. We need to.
Also, Tiny Iota.
Yes, Tiny Iota. Maybe we'll make an appearance in a future campaign.
Yes.
Tiny Iota
You can find
and his
me
good friends Montana Duke and Jumbo Dakota.
Jumbo Dakota in large portions.
Large portions.
You can find me everywhere in Organization, mainly Twitch and YouTube. And if you're into that cosplay stuff, you can find me there too. Until next time.
Bye.